Well, hello everybody, George Morgan back again, this time at the Creator Series, and after what was a turbulent affair last time out, the Twitch channel getting banned. How crazy is that? But we are back alive and kicking, and I tell you what a night to be alive as well. The Belgian Grand Prix, that is what's on the cards, folks. We're heading to Spa-Francorchamps. Joining me, George Morgan TV, is none other than Badgerman. Badgerman, we're back on Twitch. It didn't look like it would be the case, but here we are.
Yeah, it's very surprising. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. Absolutely incredible. And for no apparent reason. I think, what was the actual reason that was given to Dirk?
There was no reason. It was literally
I think the reason was by mistake.
Well, yeah, that was the reason. They made a mistake, you know. Doesn't happen very often, folks, but it happens to us, apparently. So there we go. But yes, an exciting night tonight, guys, and it's Spa-Francorchamps. And I tell you what, I can't wait for this one. One of the most historic tracks on the calendar has been open for so long now. I mean, obviously, it's had some changes. I mean, I doubt many of you will be able to remember what the original circuit looked like, but certainly now, as we are working our way towards the future side of Formula One, we're now in the present day, where of course it is the current layout is what it is. Obviously, a very turbulent track, lots of weather changes could be on the cards. There were a lot of question marks, Badgerman. It could have been a wet day, could have been a dry day. It was a mystery, really. Lots of people even saying there was chances of snow.
I don't really see that. Maybe in the paddock, but that would be a different kind of snow.
Yeah. But what, dandruff? Is that what you're saying? Dandruff.
Yeah, totally. Yes, that one. No, but yeah, it is a very interesting circuit, that's for sure. It's one of only two circuits in Formula One that actually break the FIA regulations for tracks, for Grade 1 circuits, because Spa is just over 7 kilometers long, and the regulations for Grade 1 circuit state it has to be between 3.5 and 7 kilometers. So Spa is just over that. The other track would be Monaco, which is just under that at 3.3 kilometers. So we're literally breaking rules to race here today.
Well, we could break a few rules. We're the Creator Series. We break all the rules in the book, hence why we get banned off places like Twitch. So there we go. Yeah, that's what we do. But yes, guys, big warm welcome. I got to say, let us know. Have your say in the live chat as well, folks. We love to hear from you, obviously. And tonight, like I said, very special night. Obviously, we've got lots to look forward to, lots of your most favourite creators. But the biggest comment of all, the big story, Badgerman, the debut of iContrast.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a bit weird for him, because at the end of the day, this hopefully does not turn into a dirty lobby. And then again,
we don't want another video made just about this series, essentially. That's what you're saying.
Yes, really. And I think which race was it where we had 6 safety cars? Was that last week?
That was last week. Yeah, of course.
That was last week.
And it was documented by none other than our good friend Tiamat Marduk, who is, of course, racing tonight as well. Made a video that he's dropped today, believe it or not, folks. Mm-hmm. And you can check that out as well. A record number of safety cars for this series at our last race, which, when you consider the competition that we have here, obviously that's not too difficult. And also at the same time, it was Austria, which was a bit baffling. But a twist in the weather today at Spa, though, Badgerman, and we could break that record.
Certainly, I think it is possible, and it does come down to the weather most likely, because the problem at Spa is to break 6 safety cars, you really need a safety car about every 5 laps, because you only get 44 laps. It's such a long circuit that one safety car period just takes a good 10 minutes out of you, and maybe a little bit less, but you get the point.
Yeah.
3 laps out of 44 is a lot more than 3 laps out of 71 or 72 or even 78 as in Monaco.
Absolutely.
We don't get that many safety cars usually around Spa.
No.
We usually get 2 or 3. That's almost guaranteed. But I don't see us breaking the record today.
Well, I tell you what, iContrast is not the only debutant. We've got another one. We've also got Formula Racers. He's stepping up to make his debut as well here tonight. So there's
Wasn't
another
he here
one.
last week?
I don't think he was. I think
he was.
Was he? In fact, we've missed publicised the debut of Formula Racers, but we're just going to say he debuts tonight. I'm just going to say it.
There you go.
But there we go.
Yeah.
But folks, just before we get into qualifying action tonight, we've got some words of wisdom from our one only Tom.
simple, man. I'm just gonna attack. And most importantly, I will not spin, okay? I'm not going to flip and get wing damage, get 5 drive-throughs. I've done it all now, so I know what to expect. I'm just gonna go hard and not get any penalties, and I'm gonna finish P1. Easy clap. Now, obviously, the championship doesn't look as great, you know. I mean, I'm like P20 or something out of 20. But look. This is my warm-up phase, okay? Once we start the real full season, I'm ready to go. I'm not showing my hand yet, you know what I mean? Like, I'm quick in the race, but I'm not showing it with points. So whenever we get into the actual season, you know, I'm going to be there. The track that we're driving at tonight's Spa is actually one of my favorite tracks on the calendar. Like, the driving you could do, the side-by-side battling is one of the best, actually, of any of the tracks, alongside, like, tracks like Brazil or something. So I'm really looking forward to having some good battles. This is also what I enjoy the most about battling or about racing. I don't necessarily care too much about getting the P1 every single time. I want to have those good battles. What is for sure though is that this race is going to be mental, and I hope that everybody at home will be supporting me and not a spin in the wall, okay? Watch out.
So there you have it, folks. Tom lending his words of wisdom here before we head into Spa. Was an appropriate man, I think, to pick for tonight. Of course, Tom on a mission to actually finish a race in the Creator Series, Badgerman.
Yeah, something that does not come very easy, because 100% races do take a lot more out of you, and so finishing a race, I would say, in and of itself is already a feat to accomplish, let alone, you know, being in the top 5 on the podium, or even winning the whole thing. Speaking of, we might actually see our 4th winner in 4 races today.
Unbelievable. Yeah, because of course we've had Bart Del Castillo, not to mention Tiamat Marduk, and then last time out we had Safso as well. So already the names falling, but still no back-to-back winners or nothing like that. Not even someone who's done it twice. We're still trying to chase those particular numbers, guys. But we are now heading into qualifying for this very special race at Spa. We want you folks obviously to get involved, and please do. Please take clips of moments that you enjoyed the most. They have a chance to be featured in some of our greatest moments that appear on social media. Of course, Creator Series now have arms in Twitter, Instagram, also TikTok as well. Your clip, your video might well feature on one of those social media handles as well. So make sure you do leave your clips and pick your favorite moments as well. Also have your say on Twitter, folks. Use the hashtag Creator Series, and we might use your tweets in our broadcast as well. Next week, we might bring your tweet then, and we can sort of discuss it and just analyze it. A bit of tweet analysis. I like doing a bit of that. But anyway, Badgerman, we're heading into Q1. Important day as well for Dirk Chocolate. Can he make it out at last?
Yeah, that is a storyline that we've been following since the very beginning, and Dirk has been struggling quite a bit, so going to be interesting to see if he can make it out and potentially into Q3. This time around, he hasn't, let's say, been as vocal on social media about how good he is, so maybe with the reduced pressure, the reduced fall height, he has a bit of a higher chance to actually make it. You know, the more measured approach. I think we're seeing a different Dirk than we have seen the last couple of weeks.
I think we certainly are, folks, and certainly we'll look forward to seeing who comes out on top. There we can just see our things actually just loading up at this point, but won't be long before we get started. So brace with. There we are. There's the graphics. All out and proud as well. The car's now venturing out onto the circuit. Very, very busy paddock here at the Creator Series. Also, we are gracing the presence with some brand new artwork as well here at Spa-Francorchamps. You can see the Creator Series logo is now embedded into the Formula 1 game, as well as many others as well. So great to be here. We're on our way, folks. We are on our way in the Creator Series. Keep your eyes peeled. I tell you what, we're going from strength to strength. And already the car's out and about on track. As we now commence Q1, 16 and a half minutes to go in the session. Who's going to make it into Q2?
Yeah, a lot of drivers going out early here for their first runs, and we have obviously plenty of drivers on intermediate tires. That is a very common sight at the start of Q1. So far, I already see someone late asking in the chat, someone has to bin it at Radeon on soft to be on my level. So far, no one has binned it at Radeon on any tire. So that's good news for the drivers in the first 2 minutes. They haven't embarrassed themselves.
No, not just yet, but give them a chance,
yeah,
Badger.
not yet.
give them a chance. You know, we got time.
Yeah.
We got plenty of time for them to bin it. 15 minutes and 50 to go. So, I tell you what, the ship has not sailed yet. And as you can see, the current tyres speak for themselves as now the AlphaTauri makes its way through this next section. Of course, the majority of the cars now out on intermediate tyres as the session gets underway. But there's our clock, folks. 15 minutes and 30 to go. And already a lot of the cars making their way around this track as well. There you can see the two Mercedes together. Of course, Zafso stepping up yet again after a wonderful effort last time out. Running wide, though, is the Haas there, of course. I believe Melanie JND is actually driving the Haas on this occasion. So back here again at the Creator Series. And we've got, once again, the influx of female racers as well coming in. Maxime MXM and Melanie JND on the grid today.
Yeah, certainly. Great to see that we have some female creators be a part of this series as well. Normally we would also have just Han, but from what I know, she was not available tonight. So hope she will be back next time. But we've got Melanie and Maxime here to challenge the guys a little bit and give them something to think about. And I think they are absolutely capable of that.
They are absolutely capable. Maxime, obviously a tenacious character, very, very well, important in terms of what she offers in terms of work in terms of content creation. She does an awful lot for the F1 game. On her perspective, also travels the world as well with various esports competitions, gets involved with teams as well. Very much the face of Logitech as well, has been involved with Logitech for such a long time. Melanie JND, also a stalwart in creation. Her rise on Twitch has been absolutely sensational. Works a lot with Infratic as well. The pair tend to stream together at the same time and have done tremendously well as well. And obviously it features tonight, folks, the return of picture-in-picture. We have, of course, got your favourite drivers live on screen and on camera. For instance, we can join Melanie JND. She makes her way up the long straight. There you can see her in the car, getting set to go through Laycom now as well in the Haas. Can she get out of Q1 here, Badgerman?
It's going to be tricky. I mean, we've got a grid of very, very experienced drivers here, very experienced content creators, and Melanie being rather new to the game herself, I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but I wouldn't put it past her. She does have moments of brilliance that she can just, you know, on a whim, I think is the right terminology. Excuse me for doing this in my second language here, but you know, she can pull this off every now and again, and maybe today is one of those magic evenings.
It could be, certainly. 13 minutes to go. Already we're seeing Mr. Dale go fastest with a 1:44.891. Not wasting any time on intermediate tyres. Rutanius goes second fastest, with Racing Chai in third in the AlphaTauri. Hayden Gullis goes fourth fastest as well. 5 seconds off the pace up at the top end. Melanie's making her way around the very fast section of Blanchimont, now heading down in towards the bus stop chicane. She'll need a good exit now before she then ventures across the line to register her first lap time. Not even... Oh, spinning! Oh, just before the DRS line. What a moment. And in goes a Mercedes as well. Zafso obviously getting in the mix there with Liam as well, the two Mercedes. Getting right in amongst it there with Melanie JND, who unfortunately lost a considerable amount of time in that spin. And that makes her now 7th fastest, 11 seconds away from Mr. Dale.
Yeah, very unfortunate there. It's very easy to get the car to spin there on the exit. It's a slow corner, very low speed, and to accelerate the car out of a low speed corner, that's when F1 cars tend to be the trickiest. So a little bit too much on the throttle, a little bit too much power there, and maybe not the correct gear choice for Melanie there. Maybe 1 gear higher would have avoided that, but regardless, it's only qualifying. However, she did receive a 5-place grid penalty for this incident as well, so very unlucky there. The game penalizing her incredibly harshly.
Yeah, very harshly indeed, but I'm sure she will be back. Mr. Dale, though, on top. He is the man currently in P1. We've got plenty of cars also out and about. Dirk Chocolate also making his way around the circuit. There is Formula Racer. We said that it was technically his debut at this point, but nevertheless, he is here. We can confirm at the end of the day. Now making his way through the Laycom section and then down in towards the next right. The Ferrari out on track. And Merricky going second fastest immediately as well. And that's I was actually with Merricky at the Williams factory earlier this week, and he was absolutely mind-blowing. Managed to pick up 3 wins on the spin. We had 3 races at the brand new Williams F1 Esports Lounge, and he dominated right through the night. Won every single race. He even did a last to first as well, and now he's gone second fastest on intermediate tyres.
That is impressive. A last to first is... I would consider it to be the holy grail of sim racing. If you can start in the worst position possible, and at the end of it all, you can win the race. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. First to first, you know, pole, fastest lap and win, you know, the triple crown. That's also very nice, but starting last and then still finishing first in the race, that is severely impressive. So, yeah, Meraki... Definitely someone I've raced him before as well in one of the Williams Esports content creator events, and I can tell you from first-hand experience, he is mighty quick. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, Mr. Dale, who's currently on top, is currently registered the fastest sectors in 1, 2, and 3. Didn't have the best of races though at Red Bull Ring, crashing out very early on. Was actually the reason for our very first safety car, and funny enough, it was right behind Maxime MXM when he did it as well. Maxime about to cross the line, and will commence her flying lap as well, down through towards Les Sources before they're making it up towards the first very fast section here at Spa, heading up the Kemmel Straight after Eau Rouge and Radion. As now the Alpine bursts on upwards. Plenty of cars out on track setting lap times. Just one Ali as well making his return. He's already on his way up towards the Kemmel Straight. GB86 as well in amongst it all as well. Currently making his way through the middle sector into the latter one as well. Soon to be heading through the Blanchimont section in the Aston Martin. And GB, he's been impressive, but just little moments, just seems to get caught up in the major moments as well.
Yeah, I remember in Baku, where really all that separated him from the win was a 3-second time penalty that he acquired earlier in that race. So he certainly won with a lot of pace, but it's just tiny mistakes. That just goes to show how close this field is, how close these drivers are. That you had at Baku 5-6 drivers that all could have won it, and 5 of them haven't for one reason or another. And then at Silverstone, you know, where we had who was it? I think just one Ali, who was involved in a situation with Rutanius. They came together. So you always have, and I think this is going to be the same way here today as well. We're going to have 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 drivers. I don't know how good Formula Races is, but that soft run on a 48.1, that doesn't really give me a lot of confidence for him, but maybe he's just sandbagging a little bit. You never know. But we definitely have, I would say, 7, 8 drivers that could easily win it. Hayden Gullers being back, Tom being back after missing 1 week, and I contrast. We know how good he is in avoiding drivers and avoiding carnage, but this will show his true pace.
Certainly will. We're riding on board here with GB68 as he makes his way through Pouon. And as you can see, using up the battery as well. This is definitely a fast lap. Purple in the first sector already as he now makes his way through the swinging section, the semi-chicane of sorts, before dipping down in towards the double rights here at Spa. You'll have to be careful though. There are a couple of cars out on tracks, not necessarily out on a fast lap, more or so out on an out lap itself. 7 minutes to go here in Q1. The Red Bull very kindly just making way. Alex Budd has gone second fastest at this stage, but GB going fastest of all in the second sector. This could very easily put him up to the top. The question is, how much faster will he be than Mr. Dale, J.E., as he now makes his way through the final bus stop chicane. Yellow flags in the third sector, but looking very good indeed from GB68. Is it enough? It's enough for pole. It's a 143.719. Clinically enough, 1.1 seconds clear of Mr. Dale.
Yeah, but he immediately gets beaten by Rutanius in the Ferrari coming across the line with a 143.5, beating GB by another 10th.5 to the punch there, and immediately pushing him back down. So P1 Rutanius, P2 GB68, and I think Tom just moved himself up to P5 there.
Yeah, very good time from Tom, 5th fastest at this point. More and more times coming in at this moment. Plenty of cars now out on the soft tyres. Hayden Gullis also making his way around, 1:49.972 being his best time at this point, and now making his way up the Kemmel Straight himself. Plenty of other cars in the drop zone, though, still yet to set lap times, including that of Liam, who is trying to get his tyres warmed up, no doubt ready for one final run. Infratic is also out on track as well, and he's also trying to find himself out of the bottom 5. And there's 2 cars in the pit lane. Little concerning. Maxime, I think, has DNF'd. So Maxime will not be leaving Q1 at this point. Melanie J&D immediately goes 9th fastest. Very impressive time for Melanie, 1:48.320. So it doesn't look like Maxime's going to be leaving Q1 or moving into Q2. Infratic, though, will need to get his time on the board because he certainly will want to stay at the bottom. And just as I say that, 4th fastest with a 1:44.787.
Yeah, very good lap time there for Infratic, a driver who has actually been coached a little bit in the last couple of days by a certain Jonah Martins from McLaren Esports. So he's been putting in the effort, he's been trying to improve, and he's been actually coached on this circuit. It was on his stream, and I was able to watch a little bit of it. So he should be good. Based on that coaching, I'm actually surprised he's still 1.2 seconds behind Retanius, but you know, maybe he's just trying to find his rhythm, find his flow, and a second lap is going to be better. For a banker lap, certainly a very good start.
Yeah, definitely. Liam also out on track. Now remember, he hasn't yet set a time. Eye contrast still hasn't moved. No time registered just yet. Still sat in the pits, but Liam now with a chance to nestle his first time on the board. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see how it compares to Rutanius at the top end. Green in the first sector, as you'd expect. He's around 8/10 off the pace, just under that, in fact, from Rutanius. So regardless, this will be a respectful lap here from Liam, who now makes his way down towards the Blanchimont section. Full throttle around this very tight, very fast left-hander indeed. You can pretty much leave your foot to the floor. You'll have no problem making it around that curve. Now in towards bus stop. Just literally licking the curves on the way through. Second gear. He'll then plant the foot back down. Throttle up, DRS active across the line. And it's 5th fastest for Liam. The 2 Mercedes once again up in the top end. Remember, they were tied together at Austria. Rasin Chai separating them. But Zafso, last week's winner at Red Bull Ring, in 3rd place, with Liam in 5th.
Yeah, it's getting really, really spicy here at this point. We have just about... Is it 3 minutes and 20 left? It's gone by very quickly. I thought it was like 7 minutes left. Where's time gone? Unbelievable. But yeah, 3 minutes and 10 seconds left now in the session. Rutanius feels safe. He retires in the pit lane. And I don't blame him, quite honestly. GB68, Safzo, and Razinchai should also feel quite safe. Liam should as well. Granted, he is unlikely to improve at this point because he will be on a used set of softs. He has to stay out, and I actually doubt that he has enough fuel in the car as well. And then, you know, from Formula Racers down, I'm a bit worried, but there are so many cars there that have only done intermediate runs that are just, you know, that could make a mistake in their one run on soft tires. So I'm very intrigued to see. In fact, Maraki's still staying in the pits right now with 2 minutes and 20 left. You got to remember, this lap is about 1 minute and 45 long. And he's leaving it very late right now.
Yeah, well, he's looking very comfortable in his seat right now. I'm just watching TMM Marduk because he's right on the bubble of elimination here and a very tail happy coming out of the second sector. And he has gone green. He has shown improvement, so a big chance here for Ben Daly to improve up the order. Of course, down in the bottom end of things, Carbon Shadow also in the elimination zone. McLaren at very, very great risk of bowing out altogether. 2 minutes to go in the session now as Tiamat Marduk heads out of the bus stop chicane. Is it enough to come away from P15? Can he rise up? 5th fastest, the whole 10 places gained in a single lap, and that pushes Hayden Gullis into the relegation zone.
Yeah, but he's not out of this just yet. He definitely has some time left here. Is he out on track? He should be out on track. Sorry, I'm doing 3 things at the same time, but he should be out on track. He's out on track on the soft tire, and he has invalidated, but that's, I think, his outlap that he has invalidated. So he will be fine for another lap if he has the fuel. Which it's not his outlap, never mind. It doesn't say outlet next to his name, but still. It's a second warm-up lap, I guess, for him. And all he needs to do is make it to the line with at least 1 second left on the timer, which he should be able to accomplish. There's still 50 seconds left in the session. He'll be fine. But he is not allowed to invalidate again. And iContrast, actually, in the pits, he's out at this point. He can't make it to the line in this time. 40 seconds left, no way. So we have 2 drivers that are guaranteed out already in iContrast, starting from the back of the grid. This is going to turn into a video on his channel, isn't it?
Well, I tell you what, just to let you know, Dirk Chocolate has managed to get out of the bottom 5. He's now 14th quickest, managing to move on up. Hayden Gullis just starting yet another lap, getting prepared for one last chance now with 17 seconds to go. More and more cars making their way through. Melanie is now in the relegation zone as well. She's effectively eliminated unless she can pull together one last gasp chance here at a lap. Shadow as well is out on track. He crosses the line. Is it enough to carry on through? Not quite yet. Oh, yes it is. He's 15th quickest. He's managed to get out by the skin of his teeth, and that pushes Meriki into the drop zone.
Yeah, but he's still out there. Is he going to be able to get out of that bottom 5? It looks right now like he is. First sector from him in the 29s. One of the quicker times in the first sector there, indicating a lower wing setting for Meraki. So that helps him in the first and in the final sector, but not so much in the middle sector, where you have most of these corners around here. We'll see how it continues. Middle sector for Meraki will come in after Stavelo. So he's got about 3 more corners to go, 2 more. There's a yellow flag. Oh, that's a car online. That is Dale, I think, who gets just out of the way. But it's a very good middle sector from Meraki as well, 45.3. That is only a 10th.5 slower than Rutanius, who has the purple sector there. This could be on time for a potential P1 or P2.
It could well be. He's heading down towards the bus stop chicane. Big time. Melanie J&D crosses the line. Just stays 16th quickest. Can Meriki get himself out of the bottom 5? Can he unseat Rutanius up towards the line? He does! A 143.557. A brilliant lap. And Larsen has been pushed in. Tom is on the cusp of elimination. Dirk Chocolate's out as well. Carbon Shadow.
Or Tom.
Yeah, Tom is coming. Tom is literally in the drop zone. Shadow now coming through the final bus stop chicane. He's also now out towards the line. Can he get out of the drop zone himself?
No.
He can't. He can't improve. 17th quickest. iContrast has made it out to make a lap, but the timer's ticked down. He hasn't got enough time to do it. iContrast is out on debut.
Yeah, not just him. Carbon Shadow there. He did actually improve on pure time, but it just wasn't enough for a position. He actually gained 6/10 on his previous lap, but he was a second down, so in the end, he's still 4/10 short of making it into Q2. So it's Lars in P16, Carbon Shadow in 17th. It will be on the grid. iContrast in 18th, Maxime MXM in 19th, and Melanie J&D in 20th, because she did get that 5-place grid penalty for the incident with Safzo earlier in the session, so she will start from last. But my goodness, the difference between Larsen and Tom here, less than half a tenth between elimination and continuation.
Yeah, I tell you what, Dirk Chocolate is delighted, getting himself out of Q1 in great style. He'll be great. He's certainly making his way into Q2 now for the first time in this season of Creator Series. What a moment to pick yourself up after a very difficult start to a season. You know, he's had his troubles, Dirk Chocolate, but now he can enjoy the pleasures of being in Q2 here, Badgerman.
He certainly can, and I think he'll be... I don't know, you can see the cam, I can't, so is he looking happy? I would assume he is.
He certainly was. He was looking very thrilled indeed. So we'll wait and see as to whether he can pull it off again. Obviously, Q2 is a different scenario, but you cannot write off the brilliance of Meraki there. After that last gasp lap, putting himself to the top in very much clutch conditions at that stage. I know P1 might not mean anything right now, but it does send a message at this early point.
Certainly does send a message. It's not so much about, like, you don't win anything by being P1 in Q1, but it does send a message to all the other drivers like, watch out, I'm here. You have to contend with me. So Meraki definitely putting himself on the map against everyone else. And I think that can only be a good thing. One, it can be a negative thing, I guess, because now everyone knows that you're actually good. But I do think that we already knew that about Meraki. We already knew he's going to be quick. So this just confirms it, that he is a serious contender here tonight.
He certainly will be. Now, the big question is, folks, who is going to get eliminated out of Q2? I mean, what are your thoughts as we head into the next session?
I mean, is it raining on his parade when I say Dirk?
Oh, wow. Oh, he's only just, the poor man has only just made it through to Q2 and already you're slating him for Q3.
Yeah. We're going there. Yeah. Yeah, I think for him it's going to be, look, he was eliminated in Q1. Each of the last 3 races, it's not exactly the craziest prediction to say he might not make it into Q3.
Well, we'll wait and see. Who knows? Let's give him a chance. I mean, all I'm seeing right now is cars out on track, ready to go again. We've got 12 minutes and 50 to go, folks. Hope you're all keeping well at home. If you haven't done so already, by the way, I want to see some follows here live on the... Oh, look at that. The boards there. They'll never see the light of day again. The Alfa Romeo just ploughing into them towards the end. Now, that's not a tactic, getting rid of those brake boards by any chance, is it, Badgerman?
It can be, but this early it usually isn't. Usually So, I hate to admit this, but I've done this before, on purpose.
A lot of dirty things are getting launched in this broadcast tonight. Honestly.
It's not dirty, you know. If drivers choose a brake board that can be destroyed as their brake marker, that's on them. That's not my fault. I'm just taking it out to make it harder for them. But yeah, no, drivers obviously for every single corner choose a brake marker, you know, where they know, okay, once I'm at this point, I have to start braking. Sometimes also a turn-in marker, that tends to happen. Like some drivers have that as well, where they say, okay, at this point, I need to start turning in. And if you take that out, because if it is destructible, you can take it out. It's not illegal to do so. It's a bit mean, yes, I'll accept that, but it's not illegal to take that out. So, fair game. That's your fault. Generally, there are immovable objects around the circuit that are actually better choices to take. It could be a curb, it could be a barrier, it could be really anything. It could be markings on the track that generally tend to stay there because, well, in the sim world they're coded in, but even in the real world, no one's ever gonna go there and is gonna like wipe off the rubber off the track, so it's gonna stay there.
Well, I don't mean to interrupt, but Dirk Chocolate might yet get into Q3. His chances have just improved because Liam has DNF from the session already. So that is 1 car down. That means 4 to go. Now, Liam obviously no longer will be featuring in qualifying. That is the end of his session. Teammate Marta going fastest of all on soft tyres, 145.230. But we know that the heavy hitters of Meraki, as just when Ali now goes quickest with a 144.426. An almighty 8/10 quicker at the very start of this session. With still 10 minutes to go. Rutanius across the line with a 148.201. More and more cars making their way through. And look at this, GB68 going second quickest. Meraki goes 4th quickest. 145.055, over 0.6 of a second slower than just when Ali for second place for GB68. But a great return for him. Obviously, he'd be hoping that he can get another big result. We did allude to the fact that he had a very tricky time of it in recent races, having a bit of bad luck go his way, but he's back again and second quickest. Now, that is the place to be at this stage. Certainly with 10 minutes to go, he has sights on P1. I mean, at the end of the day, all he cares about is getting into Q3 at this point.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, for all the drivers, that's the target right now. You don't care if you're P1 or P10. As long as you're P10 at the end of the session, yeah, you're going to be happy about that. And then usually, one thing that I always liked was actually being in P10 in Q2 or P9 or P8, like further bit down, but make it into Q3. The reason is because usually if that happens, ideally, you know where to improve. You know you made a mistake, you still made it through, and now your senses are a bit heightened. You understand, okay, I made this mistake, learning from that and not doing it again. That tends to be, that tends to make you faster, because generally failure makes you better. It's just a general principle in life and also in racing. If you mess up and you learn from it, you're not going to make the same mistake twice, and you're just going to improve from there. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing if anyone finishes P8, P9, P10 here, because they're in Q3 and they can just take the pole position at the end of it all, just like anyone else can.
Absolutely right. Hayden Gullis will be looking to get into Q3. Sarso goes 6th fastest with a 1:59.664. As now we ride on board with Hayden Gullis now before he makes his way down through towards Blanchimont, focused as ever. Obviously Aston Martin were pretty much joined at the hip when we last went racing at Austria as well. The two of them coming together as they head down towards the bus stop chicane now. Hayden Gullis watching on as he now ventures through the final couple of corners here. There we can see a very up close and personal driver's cam as now Gullis makes his way towards the line. Third quickest, just behind his teammate again, locked at the hip there between GB68 and Hayden Gullis. You just can't separate them here at this point, Badgerman.
Yeah, you can't, and it is a very strong driver pairing. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a little bit of a team tactic going on in the race as well, because these two get along quite well, and they always have a little trick up their sleeve, shall we say. So wouldn't be surprised if we see something going on there.
No, not at all. He'll be pleased with that. Very good early showing from the Aston Martins. Just a comment there from Shriebel. Hayden's wheel looks comically large. That is because he is the size of a giraffe, Shriebel. That is the truth of the matter. He is really tall. And
meanwhile, here comes Infratic. Purple in the middle sector. His first wasn't that great, but he might actually end up in P2 here. Crossing the line. Oh, no, he just misses out by a 10th and a bit. His final sector also not quite there, but ahead of both Clement Marduk and Meraki JL.
Yeah, very good indeed. Infratic getting himself into the top 4 and very nearly within 7.5 tenths of a second of Just One Ali, who still holds on to the top time at this point. Plenty of other cars also out to the bout, including this man, Dirk Chocolate, who we alluded to. The grandeur that, of course, was his Q1 success, managing to get himself in towards Q2.
He just invalidated.
And as I say that, he invalidates his lap time. Very, very well done, Dirk Chocolate. Never mind. He'll be back out, surely, with 6.5 minutes still to go. Plenty of cars still trying to make their way around, including, I believe that's Formula Races there at the bottom end as well, also in the mix of all this. There he is, making his way up towards Eau Rouge and Radion in the Scuderia Ferrari. Of course, Ferrari yet to claim a race win this season, which I suppose is that pretty standard if you compare them to their current real-life form, Badgerman?
Yeah, and it's also pretty accurate in that I think quite a bit has come from, shall we call them, strategy blunders. So
I thought that was Tim Marduk.
That as well, yeah, that as well. But it wasn't just him. I think Rutanius not so much, because first off, I have to say that because he's my boss.
Oh, go on. Say something about him. Come on.
No, the thing about Rutanius is he is himself, just like I am, also an engineer on F1 22. Except he's obviously a better driver than I am. That's why I'm here and he's driving. But he knows strategy inside and out. That's the one thing he will not mess up on. But his teammates throughout the races have not had the same kind of consistency that he does. So he's not the one to blame here for strategy mistakes. But yeah, there have been a couple for Ferrari in the last couple of races. Not last race, I think. Formula Racers did a good job at the last race.
He's purple in the second sector as well, heading around the final corner. Chance here to perhaps unseat Just One Ali. He could at least split the two Aston Martins. He goes quickest, a 1:44.111. I tell you what, a superb time. Formula Racers marking his appearance here at Spa with a wonderful lap time here in Q2 with just over 4.5 minutes to go. And that in itself, a grand statement. Rutanius has a decent teammate alongside him.
Yeah, Ferraris definitely came to play here today. That being said, the purple sector that Formula Racers had in the second sector already gone. Half a second quicker went Razin Currently P15 comes to the final couple of corners. This should be the first 1 minute 43 of the session if he doesn't blunder the final sector, which it did not look like he did. And there it is, 43.5 for Razin. And yeah, that is right on the money compared to where we had the fastest times in Q1. The fastest 2 laps were also 1 minute 43.5. So he's right there already. It's a bit early to say, but I would actually argue Razin might just go into the pits and retire. I think he's good for making it into Q3. I think that time will suffice. Everyone else, 44.1 is going to be on the cusp. 44.4 from Just Ali. Ooh, tricky. 45.0 I think will not be enough this time around.
Oh, well, we'll have to wait and see. We've just seen comments there. Demagolan saying his Formula Races a spartialist. Brilliant. Love that. Thank you, Demega.
Wow.
We like that one. That's going to the top of the tree. Rutania's going second fastest as well as GB68 comes across the line. Second fastest. He now steals that away from Rutanius. The 2 Ferraris now third and fourth with more cars now crossing the line. Let's check in with our resident Aussie. Of course, Tiamat Mardek. He's not the only one here this weekend because, of course, iContrast has now joined the grid. So now we're getting surrounded by the wonders from Down Unders as now they make their way up through towards this next section. Let's check in and see what our man Benjamin Daly is up to as he now heads up through the Kemmel Straight and no less looking as pensive as ever. And we do enjoy Ben Daly's content. He's been making a lot of videos around the Creator Series lately, of course witnessing what was such a dramatic moment at Silverstone, taking the win around the final corner. It just couldn't get much better than that, could it, Benjamin?
Yeah, certainly not. I mean, that's the dream, really. That's, you know, if you could write a script of how to win a race in the most dramatic fashion, I think you couldn't even write what actually happened at Silverstone. I think you wouldn't even. You would think, nah, this is too unrealistic.
Even
way.
Tolkien wouldn't have come up with that.
Exactly. And still it happened. These are the ways that real life sometimes has. And what a moment it was. And so early in the Creator Series life, in the life of this series, have we seen something that crazy. So if that did not get you into the Creator Series, into watching here, then I don't know what can, really.
There's no better feeling than winning your first Creator Series race. Safso, incidentally, goes 5th quickest and approximately just over half a second away from Rasin Chai. Now, if we look at the bottom end, plenty of cars that are on flying laps looking to try and nestle in a chance at remaining in the final session of qualifying. Dirk Chocolate is one of those cars. Currently sits 13th quickest. And makes his way through the chicane.
Just invalidated.
Oh, and that's
Mr. Dale just that might be his final. Oh, he might have one more lap. He invalidated on the exit of Puhon, so he really only has less than a sector and a half to regain that time. He's actually slowing down now to regain battery and maybe save fuel as well. Let through Meraki, but that could be key right here. He will have enough time to do another lap. Will he have the fuel though?
Well, that's the big question. Dirk Chocolate now heading through the bus stop chicane. We're going to ride picture in picture with Dirk Chocolate up towards the line. Is it enough to get out of the bottom 5 as he now sets his first time? It's a 1:44. He does move into 7th quickest. Big chance here for Dirk Chocolate to make his first Q3 appearance here at the Creator Series.
Yeah, meanwhile, Meraki JL actually not improving on that lap, but he has got one more. I think this was sort of a second outlap for him. He's now on his flyer. Next car is Tom, who is purple and just had that taken away, but he was purple for a brief moment in the middle sector. But his first sector way too slow, 30.5. The fastest drivers we see here are 29.7, so he's 8/10 away already in the first sector. Can he make it into the top 10? Yes, he can, P7, but it's not over. Mr. Dale is still out there, 30.0 in the first sector, already a lot better. Just when Ali goes P1, just 43.4.
Incredible lap time of 43.4. You just saw the delight on Tom's face as well. Mr. Dale, remember, who is still out on a lap, and he's improving at time and time again.
Marduk across the line, can he improve? It looks like he can. Across the line, P4, he is safe. He is guaranteed safe. Next driver will be Alex Budd. He's in P12 right now, and he is out.
Alex Budd out of the session. Mr. Dale still very much in it as well. He's making his way through the final sector. Of course, Liam already out. Meriki at risk as well. Alex Budd in P12. He's out of qualifying. Infratic is the next one.
Out.
And he's out too.
He's in the pits. So it's down to Meraki, Dale, Dirk Chocolate, and Tom. Oh my goodness. And Meraki is purple in the middle sector, and Dale is improving. But that middle sector from Dale was not good. 46.6. That is 1.6 seconds slower than just one Ale. He needs to get a good final sector, needs Mr. Dale. Meraki across the line goes P1, 43.1. That is a statement, and Dirk is out, as I predicted. But here comes Mr. Dale, and he is also out. P13 does not improve enough. That middle sector cost him the Q3 appearance.
Yeah, well, a wonderful lap indeed from Meriki, managing to get himself out of the bottom 5. He is now fastest of all, of course, winner at the Williams Esports Lounge event, taking all 3 wins in that session. Dirk Chocolate out as well. Both Red Bulls out because Infratic is gone as well. Mr. Dale also out. Alex Budd, Liam, of course, not even setting a lap time. But Meriki on top spot, P1. An incredible lap as well. You can just see the jubilance on his face. Look at that. Eyes wide open. He is absolutely thrilled with that.
Hold on 1 second. I think just one Ale actually got disqualified for... Let me check real quick. Dirk is in.
Dirk's in. Incredible safety.
Dirk is in. Blocking by slow driving. Just one Ale. I think that's his AI that got disqualified for slow driving. That means Dirk is in Q3. What?
Eat your words, Badgerman. Eat your words.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Come on, nah, surely. There was never a doubt in my mind that Dirk was going to be P11 or worse, on raw pace. Just one Ale has been done incredibly dirty here by the game, being disqualified, having to start in P15.
Well, all I'm saying is, I tell you what, I think it was deserved. Dirk's been looking for these moments for a long time now. He's managed to achieve it. A wonderful effort to get himself into Q3. Obviously, not all his own doing, but still at the same time, he did it. He's through. And I don't think he's going to be too worried about the circumstances at this point, Badgerman.
He might have had a hand in this, to be honest. I mean, Dirk is the organizer here. He might have fixed this.
Whoa. Fixing. Race fixing. Is that where we're going now?
Dirk Massians is in the chat.
Incredible. Have your say at home, folks. Were you just as shocked as we were at seeing that? Do you think Dirk deserves his place in Q3? Let us know in the live chat. Give Tom Poll, he deserves it after that displays his gun. First time chatter. Big welcome, everybody, by the way. Have your say in the live chat, folks. Late at Dirk, let's go, he says. Demegalin saying, haha, the scenes. Hoodie Pete Massey has entered the chat. Shreeble, wait, what does this mean for Ale? Is P20 with that disqualification out? Looks that way, Shreeble. It could well be.
No.
P15.
I think he'll be P15. Yeah, not P20.
He'll be behind Liam, so P15 because he made it through to Q2. Jack Ledford, hi George, how you doing? Big hello to you at home as well, Jack. Big hand Zach, ain't no way Infratic bottled that. He did. I can tell you he did. It was very nearly 2 Red Bulls out in that session, but Dirk managing to stay alive. Managing to get himself through. Shout out to Formula Races. He literally never plays the games on stream. He's in Q3. Absolutely right. For a first, should we say, proper visit, Badgerman, and he's through to Q3.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, that is incredible from him. Did not expect that he could unlock that kind of pace, yet he did. A very, very solid lap there. It wasn't quite, up there with the fastest, with, Meraki, with Retanias, with GB68, but it was a very solid lap and a well-earned appearance in Q3. Now it's all coming down to who can extract the most out of their car. The one driver I want to talk about, though, is the driver who got into Q2 by the skin of his teeth and got into Q3 by the skin of his teeth. Literally the last place both times. 15th in Q1. Well, 9th in Q2 technically, but only because of that issue. Otherwise, it would have been P10 in Q2. And that is Tom. Both times, he cut it incredibly thin. And yet, he's here in Q3, and we know how quick he is. So, maybe a good horse just jumps as high as it has to.
Well, maybe. I mean, at this stage, he's looking good on it. And as we're now watching the cars venture out for their very first laps of the session, Tiamat Marduk, ever consistent, of course, positioned well towards the end, managing to get his car up into the top 10, ready for a blast at Q3. Now makes his way through Eau Rouge and Radion, now up the Kemmel Straight. And in the McLaren that, of course, he has been an ambassador for now for such a long time. He's been a representative here for the Papaya team for a long time. Purple already, as you would imagine, given the fact that we've just started the session. The Aussie now makes his way down through towards Brachel's corner. And then, of course, the corner with no name that has since been renamed, if I'm not mistaken, to the Jackie X curve as well, as we now see Ben Daly make his way through this next left now. Pouon will be up shortly. Now you can see the faces of all the creators up on the banner as well. A new feature here at the Creator Series. We are in the game, folks. Creator Series is in the game. And just for that reason, the price is now doubled.
No, we're not that greedy. No, just $5 extra. Meanwhile, you mentioned the purple first sector for Tiamat Marduk. Obviously, he was the first driver to set a purple sector, or to set a sector. But he remained purple in the first sector. No one's beating him. Out of all the 8 drivers that are out on track right now, everyone other than Tom and Dirk, no one's beaten him in the first sector. Now, middle sector, different story. Britannia's just went purple there. But a strong first sector from Tiamat Marduk. And looking at his setup, which I do have access to because he did not turn off his telemetry, so he's still sending it to me. Maybe someone wants to tell him. But yeah, no, with that setup, I'm actually surprised that he did that good of a job. 29.8 in the first sector. I do expect some drivers to run lower wings than he does. And yet, that first sector, a 10th quicker than anyone else. 29.8. Next best driver, Britannia's 29.9. But Britannia's had the middle and the final sector going for him. So he is P1 already with a 43.1. Remember, that was the P1 lap time of Q2. That was what the winner of Q2 had as a lap. And we already see that with 7 minutes, 15 seconds remaining here in Q3.
Well, just look at this. Rutanius up at the top. Ferrari now first and fourth as now Meriki comes across the line. Third fastest, a 143.964. I did say to him while we were at the Williams event after he won those 3 races, I said, so my money needs to go on you this weekend, I said to him. And he took it in his stride, but he's come back again. Third quickest here at the start of Q3 with 6 minutes and 45 to go here at this point. Plenty of cars still out and about. Zafso as well making his way through the latter sector too. And,
yeah, he has invalidated though, unfortunately, after a first sector that yeah, can only be described as suboptimal.
Well, there you go. Zafso will have to go again. There's plenty of cars in the pit lane as well. Dirk Chocolate hasn't set a lap yet, neither has Hayden Gullis, and nor has Tom.
I'll tell you what, Zafso might still finish this lap just to have a banker time, because his middle sector is actually really good. 45.1 would be the second fastest middle sector here. So I think, oh, never mind. He is going
straight in.
I would have put that lap down personally. I would have had that as a banker. Granted, you know, invalid, but still, at least you got some kind of a comparison. Now he doesn't have that, but yeah, it will make things a little bit harder for him in his final run. But the promise for Zafso is definitely there. He's got the pace. That middle sector showed it right there. A 45.1 in the middle sector is not an easy feat to accomplish. So definitely chances here for Zafso to get a front row start and potentially be the first driver to win 2 races here in the Creator Series.
He could be. Of course, taking the win at Austria. He'll be looking to go again this time. Of course, if you haven't seen the Austrian race, you can watch it on the Creator Series YouTube channel. Obviously, since that we had the issue with, of course, getting banned on Twitch, we did indeed record it for you guys, so you can watch it as much as you like live on YouTube. The VODs, certainly here on Twitch, obviously do stay here, but then, of course, they get moved to the YouTube channel as well, so you'll get to watch those again and again and again to your heart's content. And obviously, don't forget to leave a subscribe and also leave a like when you do watch the VODs as well. Big thank you to everyone for tuning in. 5 minutes to go here in qualifying. Everyone getting set for one last run. Get the feeling that Zafso, Dirk, and Hayden Gullis and Tom, certainly, those guys obviously just having a one chance to dance here towards the end of Q3. So they're going to have a lot of pressure stacked on their shoulders to land a big time, especially if you look at the Ferraris. Rutanius obviously setting a very decent lap, at least at this point, a 1:43.150. Tiamat Marduk, though, right on the pace, just within 2/10. But there's a big gap then to Meriki, and that gap between Tiamat Marduk and Meriki stretches to almost 0.7 of a second, which is quite a vast gap there, certainly there, Badgerman, because obviously, you know, Meriki, we know his pace. He might be a little disappointed with that first lap.
I think he is. As a banker lap, it's good, but obviously, if that's your only lap, I think he will be disappointed with that. Meanwhile, we finally have cars back out on track. I always like to call this phase the calm before the storm. I think the storm is brewing now. We have Rutanius out on track, Razin out on track as well, the first two drivers to leave. And they're preparing, I think, for two potential runs. They want to take a little bit of pressure off their own shoulders. Even though they already have less than Safso, Dirk, Hayden, and Tom, they still decide to leave themselves that opportunity to potentially do 2 laps, which I think is a very smart call. For everyone else, we expect them to go out normally after the 3-minute mark, between 3 minutes and 2 minutes 20, maybe 2 minutes 10 if you want to leave it as late as you can. But those two deciding to go for 2 laps potentially, just in case they invalidate the first one. I think a smart call, and I'm actually surprised to not see the 4 drivers without a lap time to do the same thing. They decide to really push it, go for that 1 lap. They will not have enough time to do another. So it's really a one-shot qualifying for all of them. And if you've ever participated in an F1 22 lobby with one-shot qualifying, you know how many people mess up in those situations. So I'm not sure I would take those odds. I would have gone for 2 as well.
Well, there we go. So we're now watching Rutanius live on picture-in-picture. There we see him in the bottom right-hand corner. There's his car as well, currently getting ready for a fast lap. He's not the only one heading out, though. Many others also looking to begin their fast runs, their final fast runs. We've just seen, of course, Zafso's already left. We've got Hayden Gullis and GB68. Aston Martin very busy as well. Now, this could be an issue for Rutanius because he's going to have traffic on his fast run, potentially, here. Because all the other cars, they won't need to push at this point. They can just sort of get the cars appropriately warmed up. There's going to be a lot of pressure now on Rutanius to pull off a clean lap here.
Yeah, certainly. However, Safso seems to have the awareness here. Does he? Oh, I'm not sure he does. Oh, he gives him slipstream, I think, and moves out of the way at the last moment. They're playing together. They're working together. When have you seen that ever? That a Mercedes and a Ferrari are working together here.
Is it because of the impending threat of Dirk Chocolate here in Q3?
Oh, obviously. I mean, Dirk is the driver with the pace that everyone's afraid of. So clearly, it has to be the reason that it's Dirk. Oh, and Rutanius runs wide, but does not invalidate. A bit lucky there, but I think he must have lifted off at that point. Oh! And yeah, that's an invalidation, that's for sure. He got a little bit of snap oversteer there, had to correct it, and at that point, you're just going over the grass. So, Rutanius, no improvement. Next will be Razin, who is also in quite a bit of traffic. Had to get through Hayden Gullis, Joshua Ale. No, sorry, my names are wrong here. That's great. Had to get through Tom. Why are my names wrong on my telemetry? That is annoying. But you had to get through Tom. That should be Tiamat Marduk and Formula Racers to get there. So he had even more traffic. And it shows in the middle sector, unfortunately. Yeah, I hyped him up, but that middle sector was not great. First sector, 29.8. Right on the money. Very good. 0.2 improvement as well. Middle sector, 49.3. And that is guaranteed to not be an improvement. But he might have a second run here. Don't know how much ERS he saved. He might just have enough. I think this is his final run now. And Rutanius is in the pits, so no improvement from him. Now everyone out on the circuit. My goodness.
Yeah, it's a very busy track. Or certainly a very busy session. 10 cars now all out and about. Rutanius now boxing. He's the only car that's actually in the pits right now. GB68 heading through the middle sector, looking to try and enlist his faster lap time. Currently sits 4th fastest in this timing tower. Of course, needs to get himself ahead of Meriki and Tiamat Marduk, who we just saw about to commence his final lap as well.
GB68 invalid.
Well, that's an invalid then from him, so that applies even more pressure. Dirk Chocolate also out and about as well, as we have a yellow flag in Sector 2. Dirk Chocolate.
Marduk is off in no-name corner.
Well, there we go. That's the explanation. Tiamat Marduk going off here in the middle sector. Hasn't actually caused an issue for Dirk Chocolate. He's still out and about, makes his way through the snake section here in the middle sector, now down through towards the double right-hander of Stavilo, and he'll then venture through towards Blanchimont as well. He's got an Alpha Tauri right behind him. One last chance for Dirk to enlist a faster time. I can tell you he is plus 1 second off, and there's a Mercedes going off to the left as well. No cars actually able to string a lap together right now. Not many of them are going to be improving at this stage. Meriki might be the one to grasp pole at this point. Dirk Chocolate now heading through the bus stop chicane for the final time to set one final flying lap. Heads up towards the checkered flag line now. Is an improvement. 6th quickest. He manages to go 6th fastest. Rasin Chai goes 4th fastest as well. Hayden Gullis, who's currently 3rd fastest, managed to plant his Aston Martin ahead of teammate GB68 as Tom goes 8th quickest. And Miraki's
the last one.
Yeah, coming out towards line. P1! That's pole position for the very first Spa Belgian Grand Prix here at the Creator Series. It's Meraki who's on pole. A wonderful last lap, a 143.083 to take top spot away from Rutanius.
And he gained almost that entire gap to Rutanius in the final sector. First sector, 200th of a second down on Rutanius. Middle sector, 100th of a second up on Rutanius. And in the final sector, he actually gained that whole gap and then some. He was down coming out of Stavilo. And then that run to the line and that bus stop chicane did it for him. Took it better than Rutanius. My goodness, Meraki, what a lap. And Hayden Gullis actually having a 5-place grid penalty as well. So we have Meraki and Rutanius on the front row. Then Tiamat Marduk, after the crash, still P3. I think he'll be happy with that. And Razin will be starting in P4. GB68 and Dirk Chocolate will be on the 3rd row, P5, P6. Then Tom and Formula Racers, P7, P8. Hayden Gullis and Safso, P9 and P10.
And what it means as well is more charity for Dirk Chocolate, because with Hayden Gullis' penalty, he is going to be moving up the field too. So as you can understand, Dirk Chocolate, he's flexing on his camera as well. He feels delighted at the way this has panned out. Things have gone well for Dirk. There we can see his camera. I just saw him then just shaking his fist and his arms about, but out of the rig just to have a little stretch before we get into racing action, folks. But we are going to be looking forward to going racing. We're going to take a quick break, folks, while we hear these very quick messages. Welcome back, folks, and we're just about to go racing here at Spa. Of course, we've got the formation lap to go through first, but what a session, Badgerman. I think, obviously, I'm talking about Meriki and his abilities in our first 2 sessions, then all of a sudden to come to Q3, and once again, a clutch performance from the Williams, again, when he needed it most, to plant himself on pole, beating Rutanius, who has been a consistent performer in qualifying. Maybe just the race lets him down a little bit, but Meriki, certainly with a great chance to take a win here tonight.
Yeah, certainly. I think all the drivers that ended up in the top 6, the top 5, if we exclude Hayden Gullis' grid penalty, but if we take that if we take that into account, then top 5. I don't think Dirk has much of a chance of winning the race. As high as he is there, P6, fantastic qualifying for him. If he wins this, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna think of something as a punishment for my wrong prediction. I think Dirk's not gonna win this race. If he does, if he somehow proves me wrong, I'll talk to him. We'll figure something out.
Well, there we are. So Badgerman's going to have to get on his hands and knees and crawl for forgiveness from Dirk Chocolate. But never mind. But let us know in the live chat, folks, who is going to win this Belgian Grand Prix. I can already see in the comment section, Rio was found, says Dirk for podium. It's a possibility. Hoodie Pete says anything can happen in Formula 1 and usually does. And you're absolutely spot on. DeMegalen is saying, suddenly I'm a Dirk supporter. We have got Poochie Head saying Dale win. It's going to be Ruta, says Jack Ledford. It's a possibility. Tell you what, folks, let us know. Don't forget as well, you can check out Creator Series on all the social medias as well. F1 Creator Series on Twitter, Instagram, and also TikTok as well. Make sure you do that. Bikanzak says Infratic for DNF. So there we are. It could happen. I'll tell you what, not sure whether many of you have seen it, but there's a clip of the incredible battle between that of Infratic and Dirk Chocolate as well when the two Red Bulls came together. Of course, Fabio, as Infratic is known, coming together with his fellow teammate Dirk Chocolate, and as Harry59 has said in the live chat as well, at F1 Creator Series, that is the handle on Twitter, Instagram, and also TikTok as well. Now, I want to hear from you now, Badgerman. Let me know who's taking this race.
Again, there's 5-6 drivers that can all win it at the very least. I think Meraki, obviously, starting on the front row, starting on pole position, and with the experience he has, the pace he has, definitely an option. But I actually, looking at the tire choices, I like where Rutanius is going. Why is Dirk disqualified now? What has just happened?
I'm just seeing the devilish.
Oh my.
I'm seeing the devilish look on his face. He's up to no good again, Badgerman. That's all I will tell you.
Of course. Yeah, but looking at the tires, I think Rutanius, starting on the medium tire when everyone around him, Meraki, Temet, Marduk, and Razin, are all on the hards. I think the mediums are the better choice here. If not the softs of Tom. I wouldn't be surprised if Tom actually ends up making up a whole lot of positions and looks very good after 3 or 4 laps.
That's a possibility. All the cars now lining up onto the grid, ready for the start of this Belgian Grand Prix. There is Meraki's car. After spinning to get the tyres warmed up, we will be going racing here at Belgium. Get ready for this one, folks. It's going to be sensational. All lights are now lighting up here at Belgium, Spa-Francorchamps. And it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 and getting away well, Meraki, as well, second place Rutanius, in towards the first corner, and La Source they go, Meraki out in front, they touch though, first and second, now making their way through now, towards Eau Rouge and Radion, Meraki's clear at the front, in comes though now, the McLaren of Teamet Marduk, but Rutanius there, at the very start, battles back, holds on to second place, GB68 in the mix as well, Infratic, moving up into P9, ahead of Formula Races as well. A Banzai star here as though they climb up now through towards Les Combes, and now squeezing through this section. Teamet Marduk going wheel to wheel with GB68, nose to wing there with Rutanius for second place, but Meraki leads here in lap 1.
Yeah, very frantic start. I was actually on board with Tom to see how he was going to get on, and he's already gained 2 places, but not just that. Meanwhile, Teamet Marduk now under pressure from GB68, and he shoves them off. And now Tom goes through, says thank you very much for that. I'll take the free position, and he does in Pouon, makes the move stick, and up to P4 goes Tom, and he has already gained 3 places already. He is on a charge with those soft tires. Meanwhile, Safso losing a spot there, gaining it back on Haingull as they're battling. We have a yellow flag, that's for Carbon Shadow in P20 right now. Not much to worry about there, but my goodness, what a frantic start. Tom actually taking avoiding action in La Source as well. He had to run off the circuit entirely and then had to come back later on. So very tricky, and I think he's already on 2 warnings as well after just 1 lap.
Well, there we have it, folks. The start getting underway. Meraki getting a very good lead indeed on the hard tyres as well.
Oh, Formula
Races is out. Deary me, a spud. I tell you what, very nearly collecting Melanie as well. VSC deployed by Race Control. Meraki now out in front. But I tell you what, a real carnage moment. As now we're witnessing the cars come through La Source. Here are the intervals as well, folks. You'll get to see the latest very shortly. But Formula Races out already here at this point, and Meraki leading the way ahead of Rutanius. Teamet Marduk in third, under VSC conditions. We will go green very soon, but we're still under safety car procedure. Tom, though, up into 4th place. He's had such a dynamic start at this point.
Yeah, certainly. I will let you know if there's anyone with a drive-through penalty after this VSC, because if you speed a bit too much, then you might end up getting a drive-through penalty, which here costs you around 15, 16 seconds. VSC now over, according to my telemetry. Yep, they're going again. And no one got a drive-through, and Tim Martin messes up entirely through Bruxelles, and that is Tom up into P3.
Yeah,
wow.
Tom managing to move up into P3 as well. Team Marduk relegated into 4th. What a moment at this point. And you can just see the look on Tom's face, glued into what he's seeing there on screen. Heartbreak as well for Tiamat Marduk, who unfortunately paid the price at that point and is now dwindling down in 4th place.
Yeah, but he is on the hard tires. He has to play the long game here and just stay with everyone. As Alex Budd is around, or was around, he seems to struggle with maybe his controls, maybe his wheel and pedals struggling a little bit for some reason. I think he's actually got it back under control. We have another yellow flag. That's for Carbon Shadow in Piff Paff in the right and left-hander in the middle sector, at the end of the middle sector. As meanwhile, Meraki goes way too deep into the bus stop chicane. Rutani is all over him, but it's a bit too early. We're going to get DRS enabled. There is the message. So we have it now. Hayden Gull, well, they're all going to go fastest now after the VSC. So that doesn't mean much at all. But Tom's staying with them. He has to make good use of those soft tires. And the major is saying Tom's praying for early rain with his softs. Well, I can tell you, all the drivers know this. There is no rain here in this race. This will be entirely dry, beginning to end. No rain expected. Mr. Dale's out. That's in Radion. Yeah, and that is a VSC, another VSC deployed.
Yeah, Rutani is taking the lead of the race as well. Just before the VSC was deployed ahead of Meraki, so a wonderful, certainly exit out of the bus stop chicane enabled him to get close behind Meraki, and then heading out of La Source, managed to pounce on him heading up the long straight of Kemmel. But nevertheless, now they've got to slow down here on lap 3 of 44. And a great run indeed from Rutanius on the opening of lap 3, which would lead him to take the lead of the race. But Tom making those soft tyres work. He's now 3rd, as we saw before. Tiamat Marduk now 1.3 in behind him. Of course, bear in mind, Tiamat Marduk will be able to bounce it back out. Green flag conditions again, and Tiamat Marduk a little bit better on the throttle there than what Tom was. Has managed to close up the gap, but just look at the swarm behind that of Ben Daly. GB68 in 5th, Rasin Chai also in the mix, and those are some very imposing drivers I wouldn't want on my rear wing.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, that's a heck of a battle right there to have, and I think this is the kind of moment you look in your rearview mirror. That's what the term Code Brown has been invented for, really. You're starting to be a bit afraid at that point. Meanwhile, Tiamat Marduk going for the move around the outside of the bus stop chicane on Tom. That's now the inside. He pushes him off, but Tom's staying in there, rejoining the track. Oh, they're giving it their all. Beautiful stuff there. Tom up the inside. He's still there. Ben has to give him the space. And Ben is ahead.
Ben is ahead, managed to get through past the sources. We now have a look at live pictures of Tom now as he makes his way up the next straight of Kemmel, heading out of Eau Rouge and Radion. The Alpine in behind now, that of Ben Daly's McLaren, as they work their way through. He's not alone though. GB68 moves ahead of him there and gets into that placement of 4th as well. Goes alongside Ben Daly, looks to take 2 for the price of 1 as they head through Les Combes. Side by side, it's GB! GB with the nose in front. He's made his way through, but here comes Tom down the inside now as they head through Bruchel's corner. The Alpine comes out. Tom Magic here at the Creator Series. He's now up into 3rd place.
Oh, Tiamat Marduk's going off. Tiamat Marduk, and I think that's Razin in the wall. Tiamat Marduk, no front wing, and Razin also with some form of damage to the car there. Oh my goodness. That is very, very unlucky indeed. Meanwhile, one driver I really want to talk about right now is Juswan Ali. Look at where he is, P7. He started last after his unjust disqualification.
Absolutely unbelievable. Just One Ali managing to move up into 7th place, but heartbreak again though as Just One Ali moves up into 6th ahead of Hayden Gullis. He's a rampant man on a mission right now as he makes his way through the last sector on lap 4 of 44. Still a long way to go though, folks. I tell you what, all it needs now is a safety car to come into the mix and things could change. But Tom already with 3 seconds of time penalties to his name. Carbon Shadow also with a 3-second time penalty. Rutanius managing the gap between him and Meraki is now once again Just One Ali looking this time to the outside of Safso.
From Tom.
Oh, Tom's gone. Tom is gone. It rhymes.
Did he damage his rear wing there? He may have. He clipped the wall with the rear wing when he tried to get the car spun around back to the right position. So he may have suffered some rear wing or diffuser damage. I'm going to check real quick if we have that enabled for this race. And in fact, we do. So he may very well have suffered some rear wing damage in that moment.
Yeah, well, heartbreak there, but he's still got the smile on his face. All smiles here at the Creator Series for Tom as he makes his way through Les Combes. Plenty of cars, though, still vying for placements in the top 4. There you can see Safso, last week's winner, could be the first to do a double here in the Creator Series. Wait and see. Further back as well, Just One Ali just clocking every move he makes now as they head out of the Pouhon section and now down through the next right and left as now they head on through. What's the latest, Badgerman?
Yeah, Just One Ali, I was just on board with him. He actually slightly touched the rear of Safso in the braking zone to Piff Puff, and I don't think there's any damage on either car, but Just One Ali also then struggled with the car through Piff Puff, almost lost it, had to make a massive correction there, but he is still in P5, so in the end, not much harm done. His charge continues. Meanwhile, Tiamat Marduk has switched for a new front wing and onto medium tires. Just One Ali trying to set up the overtake here. Both drivers with the DRS, and not that good of an exit for Just One Ali, although he should have a bit of an advantage on those medium tires, especially this early in the race, but just generally. And now maybe out of La Source. No, I think he's waiting for potential overtake down the Camel Straight, maybe with a slipstream. We shall wait. He gets a better run. We have a yellow flag again. That is for Alex Budd. And here he goes. Round the outside. Just One Ali on Safso into P4. That is 16 places gained in just 6 laps for Just One Ali.
Yeah, and he's not going to be left, though, for too long. Safso still hogging his rear wing. Hayden Gullis also getting very close to the rear of Larsen as well, who's currently sat in 6th place as well. As now we see Eye Contrast. Eye Contrast, remember, he didn't even qualify in Q1. Didn't even land a time because he couldn't even join the session. And look at this. He's 8th quickest.
Yeah, very, very good run for him. And really, I mean, considering what we saw so far, Formula Racers out, Dale out, Alex Budd a minute down, Carbon Shadow 55 seconds down, Melanie 47 seconds down, Tiamat Marduk 44 seconds down with a wing change.
Infratic has spun on the outset now, heading through towards Stavalo, has spun it.
Oh, he has to wait now.
Oh, goodness me.
He has to wait for everyone to get through. There we go. Had to wait for Dirk as well, and now he's going again. It might actually... Oh, Maxime around... Nope. Maxime just slowing down, I think. But, yeah. I thought she could have overtaken him, but she might actually be able to do it on the Camel Straight next lap. But, yeah, Infratic, very unfortunate there. But it looks like he does not have any damage. So he was able to keep it at least out of the wall. Time loss, sure. But, you know, it's always better to only have a time loss than to have a time loss and having to pit again. Oh, he's struggling with the car still. Almost spun into on the entry of the bus stop chicane. So seems to be a somewhat tricky setup. Maybe the brake struggling a bit. Here goes Maxime up the inside into La Source and up into P13 she goes.
Yeah, brilliant indeed from Maxime. Now up to 13th place with Infratic now down into 14th. The the driver from Holland, of course, representing here in the Creator Series, doing lots of content on various places, including Twitch and YouTube, but is now coming under pressure here from Infratic, who now moves up alongside with DRS open, moves ahead now into 13th place, retakes the place that he had lost before, and now moves ahead of Maxime into 13th in the Red Bull. And now he's on the grind to try and close up with teammate Dirk Chocolate, who's currently sat in 12th and currently 5.5 seconds away.
Yeah, that's, I think, the next target where you want to get to if you're Infratic right now. Meanwhile, looking further ahead, Just One Ale trying to close in on GB, although it seems like right now, Just One Ale just content to stay where he is. It seems like he always has a couple of, like a little slide every now and again where he just loses the car a tiny bit.
Could that be setup related, or?
Yes, that's exactly what I was trying to get at. I think that might be setup related, that he runs a quite oversteery setup. And he's spinning!
A spin at bus stop.
Say that.
A spin at bus stop, not ideal, and it's costing places because Larsen and Zafso are now currently holding on to 4th and 5th. Just One Ali, after all the hard work that he'd put together, now as Hayden Gullis breathing down his neck, only 1.6 separates the two, and looking very, very shaky, heading out of La Source as well. Those tyres might be red hot, as now they work their way up through towards Eau Rouge and Radion. That's not the fight, though, that we need to see, because Zafso coming under convincing pressure from Larsen, who is now cruising up on the rear wing now of the Williams. The Mercedes-powered Williams now looking to try and take down the manufacturer behind its powertrain, heading through the next chicane at Lecom. Still nose to tail, no move yet made by Larsen, but he looks all the threatening, heading through Lecom section, down towards Bruxelles, literally pushing the Mercedes through that right-hander. They'll head through now the Jackie X curve, nose to tail, nothing separates them, but Zafso holding on.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, looking at Just One Ali, I think it might not necessarily be the tyre temperatures, as Alex Butt was causing a yellow flag in the bus stop chicane. But I think it might actually have to, it might be a more systemic problem. It might actually be the tire pressures. And that is something you can't adjust during the race. So really, Just One Ale, just with a setup that is not suitable for the race here, or at least not for the high amounts of race fuel that are in the car right now. It should be, at this point, still just under 100 kilograms in the car, although maybe under 90. I will see if I can check it for Just One Ale. If he had, yes, so it's 75 kilograms of fuel in his car right now. He actually underfueled the car a bit, I think, for this race. But yeah, it's a lot more than you normally have in a 50% league race. And this is something that for the drivers is very unusual. The car feels so much heavier than it normally does. And, he goes for it. Oh, that's not on. That is absolutely not on from Just One Ale. Almost has Larsen spinning around here on the exit of La Source. And I think it was just One Ale who was just a little bit on the a little bit too late on the brakes, and then had to take avoiding action to not hit the rear of Larsen. Meanwhile, GB68 and GB up into P2 he goes.
Yeah, P2 there for GB68 on the fight now at this point. Larsen also managing to move up into 4th ahead of Zafso. It's all happening through Lecom right now. Larsen and Meriki, who are now together in 3rd and 4th place. Williams on for bumper points. Should the timing screen or the classification remain how it is right now. Rutanius, though, with such an advanced lead, he's now 5.5 seconds clear of GB68, with Meriki dropping to 3rd. You do have to wonder whether Meriki has got a problem.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just the hard tires being slow right now. The mediums for Rutanius and GB are just much quicker around here, especially in the early stages of this race. So I really think it's just coming down to tire choice right now. The question remains then, what is the strategy for all these drivers? Rutanius and GB have the whole strategy book open to them right now. They can run a 2-stop, switching onto hards. They can run a 2-stop. If they run a 2-stop, is it medium soft or soft medium? Alex Butt retiring in the pit lane. That is not going to be an issue. The car might actually rejoin on track. We hope it doesn't, but it might end up. It shouldn't cause too much trouble. But, you know, they have the whole strategy book to them. They can choose a 3-stop if they wanted to. It wouldn't make sense, but it would be possible. But they can do medium, medium, soft, medium, soft, medium, medium, hard 1-stop. all of that's possible. For Meraki, he's very limited right now. He has to run hard to medium, maybe hard to soft if he can stretch the hard tire long enough. Unlikely. I think it's going to be hard to medium one something. This is why I like the drivers that are starting on the mediums here in the race. And that's why they are 1-2 right now in Retanius and GB68.
Yeah, well, here comes Just One Ali now for the move here on Zafso, heading up towards Lacombe. Brilliant indeed before the corner. And Just One Ali now in 5th place. Chasing after Larsen. It's around 6/10 separating that pair. Larsen are approximately 1.5 away. And losing pace here on Meraki, who's in 3rd. Both Williams on the hard tyres, so matching strategies at this point with Just One Ali in behind in 5th. Zafso in 6th. As now the cars start to string themselves outwards. Tom now getting closer and closer. Currently splits the 2 Red Bulls as well, the Alpine. 1.4 seconds and closing up on Dirk Chocolate as well. Now this is a battle we've all wanted to see now, Badgerman. Tom versus Dirk Chocolate for that 11th place.
Oh my. I met both drivers at TwitchCon last year in Amsterdam. And I can tell you, they get along very, very well. And I had actually a very lengthy chat with Tom at the time. And actually, you know, I learned something from that. That's how good of a content creator Tom is, that even I learned something from that, despite having 4 years of experience being a content creator myself. Still took away something from that. So Tom, very insightful man, very smart man as well. But we've seen him be better than this, better than P12. Can he close in on Dirk? 1.6 seconds the gap right now. Will it come down or will it go up? That's the question. Oh, Tom actually pitting off the softs. He doesn't like them anymore. He's going, I think, prediction here for mediums.
Well, he's into the pit lane now. There's Rutanius in the bottom right-hand corner. We'll, of course, pan our picture across Tom as well as he now boxes to change his tyres. There we can see him in the camera screen. Medium tyres planted onto the car, so making his next stop. Just One Ali moving side by side here with Larsen as well. The Haas and the Williams coming together, and now up into 4th, Just One Ali. Larsen having to forfeit into that 5th place.
Yeah, but he's pushing him through Bruxelles there. My goodness. Larsen did not give up that easily, but both drivers now struggling a little bit with traction there through Jackie X corner, and Just One Ali has the position safe, and I think he's got his eyes set on the other Williams, the one that's in front of him, trying to get out of that Williams Haas sandwich towards the front, towards the top. He wants to get out of it, and chasing down Meraki JL in P3 right now.
Yeah, well, GB was nursing a 6/10 gap between him and Meraki. Meraki has now since dropped away slightly, 1.6. You have to wonder when that hard tyre is going to be better over that medium. But at this point, we'll have to wait and see how the strategy unfolds. One tyre change already that we know about. Of course, Tom moving on to the mediums, unable to serve that time penalty that he's received as well. Still 3 seconds will be applied at the end of the race. We've got 4 cars currently with penalties. One of them has DNF'd as we now watch Just One Ali make his way down through towards La Source. Getting closer and closer in behind as well. Larsen, who has not left the rear at all. Just One Ali would have liked to have got a lot closer to Meraki on these medium tyres, because as I alluded to before, they will die off eventually, Badgerman.
They certainly will, but the hard tyre right now is still not in a good shape, so Meraki's still going to struggle for a good 5 or 6 laps from here on out until the hard tyres might become better. They last a total of 34 laps in this race, so that's how long you can take them until you get into the puncture territory, that is. They will start falling off about 4 laps, maybe 5 laps prior to that. So at lap 29, 30, they start really dropping a lot more in terms of lap time. The mediums last 24 until they get to puncture territory, and a good 3 to 4 laps before that, 20, 21 lap lifespan for them in really good condition. And for the softs, they last a grand total of 13 laps, with really only the first 11 actually being good, which is why we saw Tom pit after 10 laps. He wanted to get rid of those and wanted to go on to mediums, as he has done. But that means he definitely has one more pit stop to do. But most drivers on the track right now have at least one more pit stop to do, if not two.
Yeah, well, looking at this screen now, we can see the eye contrast in his debut race here at the Creator Series, all the way from down under. 5 a.m. was the time when he joined the session, but certainly the early wake-up call hasn't phased him. Of course, I'd imagine he'll be loving a chance to take down Hayden Gullis here as they commence their lap 12 of 44, or their lap 13 of 44, I should say, as Hayden Gullis now makes his way down through towards the source. They're in behind as well, eye contrast in the Alfa Romeo, as they now head out of La Source. Now got a better exit than Hayden Gullis as well. You could see there that Gullis in the bottom right-hand corner, very conscious of the fact that this Alfa Romeo is starting to press. DRS will open up surely now for eye contrast as they now peel above Eau Rouge and Radion, and now up the Kemmel Straight once again and heading up towards Les Combes. They will have this long stretch, of course, the Kemmel Straight that could give an opportunity to eye contrast, who now shows himself in the mirrors on Gullis's car, just gives him something to think about at this point as now they peel away through Malmedy. There you can see them still nose to tail. Eye contrast again showing in the mirrors. He's looking like a man possessed, just weaving, showing everything, just showing this little bit of Alfa Romeo in that Aston Martin side wing. And you can just see a little wry smile there from Hayden Gullis. He knows what's coming, Badgerman.
Yeah, he knows, and I do think that right now there's one big worry in his head. It's not so much eye contrast pace. I think that's something, both drivers on hards right now, both drivers, pretty similar on pace. Obviously, eye contrast looks a tiny bit faster, but Hayden is not going to be miffed by that. But I think the big worry in his head, car behind him is, the driver behind him is from Australia. We know the connection issues. We know what that's like. I still think to this day, the whole reason that Tim Bardock moved to the UK was because of the Aussie internet connection being the way it is. But maybe there were more reasons. But, we know that connection. If I had an Aussie driving behind me, I'd be worried. Because it looks so janky. It looks so, fidgety. Even though eye contrast is in full control of the car. But because of the connection, because of the ping, it just looks a bit off. And that's always the worry with on a simulation like this, on a game like this, that you just, you can't predict exactly where the car's going to be, because the car, for you, is not in the same place as where the car would be on eye contrast screen.
Here he comes
now.
He goes. Side by side now with Hayden Gullis as they now work their way up towards Les Combes. Very smooth moves from eye contrast, who now takes P7 away from Hayden Gullis. Gullis gets a time penalty as well, heading through the Les Combes section. 3 seconds will be added to his time, and that is a very painful visit from Hayden Gullis.
It's not just painful, it's incredibly harsh. He was trying to set the corner up so that he might get a little bit of an overlap with eye contrast, and he just cut the corner a tiny bit too much. I mean, he didn't even gain an advantage from that, if we're completely honest. And yet, it counts as a warning. It was his third warning. That's a penalty. 3 seconds added to his race time.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Gullis as we now work our way through. Of course, plenty of time still to go. 30 laps still to be had here. We're on lap 14 of 44, folks. Plenty of action though, to come. What's the latest?
Gullis on the exit of the Cours Paul Frere, where you have the tire wall sticking out, was on the exit curb with the middle of his car with the underfloor. The underfloor was scraping on that exit curb, which at the end of the day meant that he almost lost the car. He really had to let off the throttle and make sure that the car gets back into a stable situation. He almost lost the car entirely into the wall. That would have been him out of the race. So well held, Hayden Gullis right there.
Yeah, we got an update as well, folks. It's getting really feisty up at the top end. Just one Ali and Meraki currently sat third and fourth. Meraki in third, just one Ali in fourth. They head up now towards Les Combes. DRS open for both, because Meraki has got DRS now on GB68, but not opting to make the move, just one Ali, as now they peel through Malmedy section. Big trouble here for GB. It could be the case that the hard tyres are starting to come into their own now, and it's a big fight here, because Juswan Ali, also on mediums, has had the pace all day long and is now letting fly here at Meraki as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is getting very feisty. between those three here. Just when Ali catching up to Meraki within, what was that, like 4 laps? He was 3 seconds down, and he caught that up within 4 laps. Absolutely impressive pace from Just One Ali right there. But yeah, that's very impressive. Now he just has to get past, but the medium tires are starting to fall off more and more, and the drivers have to start thinking about pitting soon. And that will all come down to the gaps that they have. And right now, I can tell you, Retanius is guaranteed to not think about pitting.
And he is
not even... Yeah, here goes Just One Ali. Move the inside of the second part, and he pushes him off there. My goodness.
Yeah.
Almost leaves him no space, and he's passed. But will they have DRS now out of La Source and down the Camel Straight then?
Well, he will.
Here's the detection point coming up. Yeah, will Just One Ali have it? That's the... Oh, it's getting close. I don't think he does. Oh, no, he just does, I think. Well, we'll see. In a couple of seconds, he does. Wow. By the skin of his teeth, he got the DRS there. Just One Ali will stay ahead.
He will. He's
Yellow
got
flag.
He's got the DRS, but he's got the 2 Williams in behind as well. Larsen has brought himself straight into this mix too. So plenty of action here at the top end. A big 4-car scrap over this P2 point. GB68 almost breaking free of the DRS ahead of Just One Ali, but just when he needed it, Just One Ali will have a chance to still tap the rear of the Aston Martin.
Yeah, and he's got the pace. We've seen that over these first 16 laps so far. Just One Ali definitely has the pace to not only overtake GB, but potentially also challenge Retanius. That is the biggest threat right now. It will all come down to strategy, though. When will the drivers pit? Again, right now, if I was in this pack right here on the medium tire, I'd be starting to think, because they have the gap. If they pit now, they'd be a good 5-6 seconds behind Razin in P10, but also a good 7 or 8 seconds ahead of Dirk Chocolate. So really in a nice little pocket where they get no dirty air, they can just do their laps, literally hot lapping lap after lap after lap, and just having a good time there and making up ground on everyone else. For Retanius, it's not that simple. If he pits, he's ahead of Razin and about 1 second behind Liam and 2.5 seconds behind Hayden Gullis. That is traffic. That's not where you want to be if you're the leader.
No, it's all very late on the brakes. Just One Ali very late on the brakes, and this is a chance now, this time for Meraki, who's been peppered by his teammate Larsen. Surely Williams have to make a decision as to which one will go on to certainly attack that P3 position of Just One Ali. He's managed to get a burst of pace heading out of La Source, though, and is now charging up through towards Les Combes, trying to gain on certainly GB68, who currently holds on to that P2 spot. The question is, who is going to be better through the middle sector of this circuit? As now they peel through Malmedy, this is the closest that Ali's been to that of GB68. He's leaving nothing to chance, sending it through every corner just to try and get close to the back end of that Aston Martin.
Yeah, and he doesn't need to. He has to be a bit more patient than he is. Oh, I say that. Yep, that confirms it. He definitely does have to be a bit more patient than he currently is, because he almost lost the car there. My goodness. This was like the 5th moment or so of Just One Ali's race so far, at least, where he almost lost the car. My goodness. I honestly, if he keeps going like this, he might not see the checkered flag. As fast as he is so on the edge. It is so dangerous the way he drives. Not dangerous to others, just dangerous to himself by losing the car regularly. The setup just not helping him whatsoever for a 44-lap race like this. Here he comes. He sends it. Retanius pitting. That is surprising. I would actually call that a bit of a strategy mishap potentially. And I you know, again, he's my boss, but I gotta call a spade a spade. I'm not sure this is the right call. Onto mediums. That makes sense. So he's going to have to go onto the hards.
Oh, Just One Ali. Just when Ali, he spun it totally, heading out of La Source now. Big chance now for Meriki, because surely that will compromise Just when Ali's gap between him and GB. GB takes the lead of the race, but here comes now the two Williamses in behind Larsen, who looks the more dangerous, heading up to Lecom now, side by side, and look down the inside perhaps. No, not this time.
There's a lap car getting involved.
Oh, and there we go.
Oh no,
GB's out. GB's out.
Oh no. Safety car, full safety. And this is why I just said Rutani is not in the right situation. Oh no. Melanie just getting in the way of GB there, not getting out of the way of the leaders and causing a collision that ends with GB68 out of this race. Now, what are the leaders going to do? Surely, if you're on mediums, if you're just Ali, you're pitting right now. There is no way that he's going to stay out. Meraki, Larsen, Safso, Eye Contrast, Hayden Gullis, Liam, all on hards. I wonder what they're going to do. I would probably pit as well. Go for mediums. They won't be quite able to make it to the end of the race, but they'll get close, that's for sure. And one more safety car, period, and they would be able to make it. Or you switch on to softs later on. But this safety car now changes everything here in this race. I think Rutanius is not going to keep the lead. Just when Ali will be the net leader when he pits. And then the hard runners, whichever one of them decides not to pit, might be in the lead of this race.
But we can't discount the time penalties, though, because, of course, Just when Ali does have 3 seconds to his name. But obviously that won't be a factor until the end of the race.
Oh,
have a long way to go.
For Williams. Double stack for Williams.
And that's bad news if you're Larsen. Bad news for Larsen. I mean, Meriki, it won't be an issue because he'll have first tips, but
everyone pitting except for Rutanius. Let's see, Just when Ali still not in his pit box. I think Rutanius might actually have the lead because he had enough of a gap. Remember, when he pitted, he was 7 seconds ahead of the leader, so he does actually stay in the lead. But Meraki now up to P2, jumps Just when Ali, Safso in P3 as well.
Yeah, Safso in P3, Just when Ali. You still can't take anything away from the Haas. I mean, all I saw was a Haas to the wall. It did not play into my mind's eye at all that Melanie might have been involved in that, but Just when Ali, of course, being in the mix, I thought it was him at first, but it wasn't. Of course, unfortunately, Melanie in the mix on that. She was very unfortunate.
I tell you what, Melanie just retired in the pit lane as well. I tell you what, I feel incredibly bad for both drivers here, for both GB and Melanie. Melanie did not want this. That was completely by accident. I think she was just not aware how close the leaders were. And I think this retirement from her was a retirement out of, almost want to call it out of shame, out of, oh no, what have I done? That sort of feeling. And I feel incredibly bad for her. I feel obviously incredibly bad for GB. He was fighting for the win here. And to have a back marker just ruin your race like that is just incredibly unfortunate. GB now leaving the session. My goodness. Yeah, I feel incredibly bad for both drivers here involved. It's just, oh man, this one hurts me as well. This one as a racer, as someone who likes to see good racing, this one hurts.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, it's not easy, but this is what happens when you're competitively battling out on track. There we can tune into Infratic, who has set up his camera for this session. Of course, he's live on his stream as well. Teammate of Dirk Chocolate as well. And getting himself set for yet another restart after the safety car comes in. Plenty of cars, though, still in this mix. 5 cars DNFing, though, in the first portion of this race. Unbelievable. Tom as well, who alluded to me while we were in qualifying, just before we went live on this broadcast, in fact, said that that if he did not get through to Q3, that he would spend the rest of the qualifying sessions playing Minecraft. So if we wanted to tune in and watch him do that, we could have. I said no. I said this is a Formula 1 game broadcast. We're not doing Minecraft here tonight, but Tom certainly was. And has actually tried, and has actually said he's trying to coerce me into doing Minecraft too. I do enjoy a bit of Minecraft in my spare time, but not while I'm in the midst of commentating a Formula One game broadcast. But Tom there in the bottom right, of course, getting ready for the restart himself. He's currently got his own issues, 6 seconds of time penalties. But I suppose that's the lesser evil if you consider that he's DNF'd from every single race we've had so far.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, at least he's still in the race. So, you know, for now, I should say. But yeah, what I can say about Minecraft, and I know this is going to get me cancelled. If there's anything that will ever get me cancelled, it will be this. I just can't get into Minecraft. I've tried it out. It's just not my kind of game.
Right, well, that's the end of Badgerman at this series.
Yeah, there you go. Goodbye, everyone. It was nice being the commentator here, but I think I'll be axed after this one. Getting back to the race, the good thing is we're in the safety car period, so we could, you know, take it a bit more chill right now. Dirk is right now the last car, and I think, yeah, I actually saw that in the chat. So Ria was found, who I think is also having Dirk's stream open, just said that Dirk tried to pit for hards, but the game actually put him on old mediums. The mediums he started the race with and took out for 17 laps. The game put him back on those, even though he chose the hard tire. So very weird that. He is now back on mediums. The only tire he's used so far this race is mediums, but these are mediums that are only 1 or 2 laps old. I don't quite understand why Dirk didn't just stay out, because I can tell you mediums now and then pitting for softs around lap 33, 34 will be faster than going on the hards, which is why I will strongly question just Ale's tire choice. He is the only driver on hards right now, alongside Carbon Shadow in P14, but you know, I find that very peculiar that we actually have just one other.
Sorry to interrupt, Badger. We've got Mr. Dale in the chat, who has just raided us with his party of 15. Big thank you, Mr. Dale, for that. Yes, lap 3 this week, Mr. Dale. Zoo, as you said. Yes, welcome to the broadcast. Unfortunately, it wasn't your day, but nevertheless.
Next week, lap 4.
Next week, lap 4. Yes, we've got it. We've got it. It's in the plan. Lap 4 next week. Mr. Dale
is now controlling the restart, and he will start at any moment. Safety car is now in pit entry, so he can go, and he goes.
Yeah, around the bus stop chicane he certainly will do, and get ready for us to go again. And just as they now head across the line, Rutanius will put pedal to the metal for the second time in this Grand Prix. Second place Meraki as well, who is still within half a second of that Ferrari as well. Big chance here for the Williams to now go ahead of the Scuderia as then they make their way up towards Eau Rouge and Radion. Safso still in third as well. Just one Ali, who has been fast ever since we started this race, but heading out over the hill, it will be Rutanius up the Kemmel Straight. Meraki chasing after him with Safso in behind too. Equilateral gaps between all of them. Racing Chai also gaining on Hayden Gullis with Eye Contrast, who's now up into P6, but Rutanius controlling the pace exceptionally well.
Yeah, certainly Rutanius leading the way here. But remember, he has to pit again. However, I would actually argue that's the case for everyone except just Swanale and potentially Carbon Shadow, because those medium tires, you really have to stretch them at this point if you want to make it to the end. They will suffer quite a bit, 70% and maybe more. It depends on your tire whispering skills. How much can you keep them away from where? Because 24 laps is exactly the indicated tire lifespan of the medium tires in a 100% race at Spa, as indicated by the game. So it's right on the money. But they start falling away after about 20-21 laps. That's when you notice a significant drop in lap time, and they get into puncture territory after those 24 laps. So if you use them a bit too much, you could suffer from a puncture. And again, in the case of Rutanius, we know he has to pit again because he only used mediums so far this race.
Yeah, well, there you go. Strategies, folks. It can easily turn the tide of a race. And look at Eye Contrast getting so close behind Larzan. of course, has been on a rise all race long, just like Just Ali. It doesn't matter where you start, certainly here at Spa, certainly at the Creator Series, the action never stops coming. Meraki now outside of DRS with Rutanius currently in front as well. 1.5 seconds now near enough between Meraki and Rutanius as now they rise up through the Kemmel Straight. Zafso in third as well, in DRS, of course, territory with that Williams as well, with Just Ali in fourth. Larzan, who we're currently seeing on our picture, in fifth with that contrast breathing down his neck, ahead of Hayden Gullis as well. Teammate Marduk, incidentally, folks, at the restart, managing to get ahead of Infratic and move up into P10. So Teammate Marduk on a charge, and now he's trying to close up on Liam for 9th place.
Yeah, this safety car really brought him back into this race. Remember, he was spinning, I think, 10 laps in or so. He spun into the wall. Actually, 4 laps in, my bad.
Oh, iContrast getting ahead of Larson. Getting ahead of Larson as well. So iContrast on the charge once again. That pace does not disappoint. Could be a debut win here.
Yeah, I mean, that would be absolutely impressive if you win on your debut. I don't think there's ever been a Formula 1 driver that's ever won on their debut in real life. So, I think, what was it? Kevin Magnussen got a P2, wasn't it? But never has any driver won. So, and not here in the Creator Series. I mean, unless you count the first race ever, granted. You know, including the first race in real F1 in 1950. Of course, that was a rookie.
Well, that would be a debut.
Everyone was a rookie at that point.
That is technically a debut.
Yeah, there you go. But then again, they did have races in 1949 that just weren't the official World Championship, but they were still Formula 1 races. So, were they really rookies? Was it really a debut? Not sure. But yeah, it would be immense for iContrast to show up here on his debut. I mean, it is already immense. P5 after starting 17th and not even really participating in qualifying. That is insane, really.
It's incredible pace when you think about it, and he's already within DRS of Just Ali in 4th place. And if you're closing up on Just Ali, then you have got some pace. Heading through Bruchel's corner, and very soon through the Jackie X bend as well. Still iContrast on a charge, and he's getting closer and closer to the back of the Haas. Of course, both donning the Ferrari engine in this particular season of Formula 1, the F122 cars. Of course, Alfa Romeo appointing a brand new, well, should we say, general manager, because technically they don't have a team principal anymore. Of course, Audi taking over the team in the not too distant future. iContrast now coming through the next double right corners at Stavolo as they head through now this next section. We have actually got some confirmation on a driver that did win on debut. Giancarlo Baghetti won in 1961. The French Grand Prix, and that was on his debut. So big shout out there to Demegelen for getting that one. You are quite right. Badgerman's in the mud.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as an excuse, I just wasn't born back then.
Are you sure?
Oh, definitely, yeah. In fact, I'm gonna go one further. Not even my parents were born in 1961.
Well, there you go. How about that? Mind blown at this point here in the Creator Series as they're watching the cars venture out of the, tell you what, a bit of a rough exit there from Larsen, but again, just Just Ali this time on the charge. Heading out through Eau Rouge and Rally on again this time. He will have DRS on Zafso as they now sprint up towards the Kemmel Straight. There you can see them now nose to tail. Now the Haas moves along to the right-hand side. Moves along past Zafso, up into P3. Just Ali now as they venture through Les Combes. He's in the podium places, but a 3-second time penalty could be his undoing. But surely you have to look at iContrast and wonder whether this young man might have a chance of winning on debut.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, that pace is quite impressive. And again, on strategy, this looks good right now. The only cars he's really contending with at this point is Safso and Meraki. He should be able to get past Just Ali, although Ali is holding up this train a little bit. Look at Rutanius and Meraki just pulling away. 2 seconds the gap now between Meraki and Just Ali.
Yeah, Tom also making moves, getting ahead of Infratic as well. It's all happening in that first sector at this point. But Tom, obviously not playing Minecraft right now, managed to pull the moves on Infratic up into 11th place. But he has got 4.5 seconds to pull back on Tiamat Marduk, who's in 10th spot.
Yeah, I was thinking of making a German joke here. He's not saying Minecraft, he's saying mind position. But
Yeah, okay. Fair comment.
I feel bad. Even I feel bad for that one. So let's just
get
move
out,
on from
get
there.
out. Right, get out.
Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible,
I'm
folks.
so sorry.
No, it's all right. It's fine. It's fine. This is what this show's
Yeah.
for. Larson now
There you
making
go.
his way down through.
Emphatic.
Yeah, he's coming
back past Tom.
He's coming back past him here at the bus stop section. We've also got a battle for the higher echelons of this timing tower. High contrast, very squirrely, heading out of La Source now as they now make their way through Rouge and Radion. Zafso also on the rear of Justwan Ali. This battle has been raging onwards now for quite a number of laps. High contrast might be at risk now because Larson, we know his pace. He was rivaling his teammates as well earlier on, Meriki. But Larson now side by side with high contrast. He's surely going to defend. Not enough though as they head through Lake Com, and Larson moves up into P5. Justwan Ali defending the third place ahead of Zafso. It's all kicking off. Lap 25 of 44. There's still plenty to go.
There certainly is. Meanwhile, I do feel like Zafso, Larson, Eye Contrast, Hayden Gullis, Razin and Liam need to get a bit of a sense of urgency in Tiamat Marduk as well. They need to get closer to Justwan Ali, and honestly, they need to get past. Right now, the problem is Justwan Ali is on hard tires. They should have a decent advantage on their mediums. The difference here is 0.7 of a second between fresh mediums and fresh hards. Even at this stage in the race, it's still about 0.6 a lap. And yet they can't get past Justwan Ali. Well, granted, Ali does have incredible pace, but surely the tire difference is enough for them to get past. It doesn't look like it is right now. They're just losing a bit of time. Meanwhile, Retanius and Meraki are just driving off into the sunset like a good Western movie. And they're just, they're checking out right now.
Yeah, absolutely right. As we're now watching Tom make his way through, Rasin Chai also going side by side with Hayden Gullis as they make their way through, and now he's up into 7th place with Gullis still breathing down his neck, but he's not the only one. There are more and more cars vying for a place in this fight. Liam as well in the top 10 trying to get into P8 himself. And you've got Rasin Chai and Gullis both on 3-second time penalties. This will allow Tiamat Marduk and Liam to move up 2 places apiece. As now we're seeing the cars now rise up through towards Lake Com. Further back, Gullis trying to get closer to Rasin Chai as now they head up through this next section. The string of cars now hightailing through Sector 1 into Sector 2. Of course, a very convoluted track here at Spa. Very technical, applies absolutely everything. You have to be a driver that can battle with everything. Infratic and Tom still dueling it out over 11th place. That has been literally an iconic fight right now. Seems a shame we're missing it, but we've got to look at these battles further up the timing screen. But Tom once again going side by side and moves ahead of Infratic around Brochel's corner. Sensational stuff.
Definitely, and I was just looking at my timing screen and one name popped out quite drastically, and that would be Tiamat Marduk. Remember, he was about 11 seconds down just on the leader just about 3 or 4 laps ago. Last lap, he's been lapping 8/10 quicker than Rutanius, 9/10 quicker than Meraki. We have a yellow flag. That is Hayden. Is that Hayden Gullis? That is Hayden Gullis. Oh my, what's happened there? The Aston Martin in the wall, and I think that might actually be front wing damage. Yep, that front wing's gone.
Oh, dearie me.
My.
And he is smiling. I don't know why. Gullis, what are you doing? We're just here looking now at the pan pictures. The wing is gone. Hayden Gullis, everybody, losing his front wing, and now he's off into the pits. Not ideal at all.
He does have a new set of mediums available, though, so he will lose a bit of time. But one safety car, and he'll be right back in it.
He certainly will do. A breath he takes at this point, trying to compose himself, but nevertheless now he has got a huge amount to find. Boxing for a new front wing. And now he's got to try and make a charge back before we end the race at lap 44. But still Rutanius out in front. But look at Meriki. He is right in tow with a chance here of taking the lead of the race back again after losing it out. But Larson, I think we've lost Larson as well.
It looks like, he's messed up in the Lake Combe. And that is him down to P9 now. Tiamat Marduk just picking off the places just by everyone else making mistakes at this point. And same with Liam here and Razin, P6, 7, 8 now. This group, we have another group ahead. High Contrast falling off that group, actually. Just Van Ale and Safso. Just Van Ale finally found his pace on those hard tires. The gap, the delta between hards and mediums starting to come down, and you can see Just Van Ale getting closer and closer to the front. Last lap, he actually gained almost 4/10 on Rutanius. Not much gain on Meraki. Meraki again in the DRS is sort of a bit, let's say, hamstrung by Rutanius in front. He doesn't want to overtake, so that gap a little bit less predictable. But both Just Van Ale and Rutanius don't have DRS, therefore I always find that's a better gap to compare. And that has come down, and this lap it's come down by another 10th and a bit. So finally, Just Van Ale getting into the rhythm. Maybe the hard tire is just better for his car with the less fuel. We saw how twitchy he was in the first stint. Maybe this is now his time, and the hard tires just make the car feel better, don't overheat as much. And he's pushing hard. He's on the overtake button with the battery completely empty. That's not going to do much, I can tell you that. You're not going to deploy an extra battery when you have zero. But he tried. He certainly gave it a good attempt. And no DRS this time for Just Van Ale, but he's trying to get closer and closer. Wasted his whole battery there and still lost half a second to Meraki, who had the DRS while Ale did not.
Well, the Creator Series loves to try it, nevertheless. Meraki in second place and is trying to urge himself forward ahead of Rutanius. Of course, they got very close together. Of course, Rutanius going ultra defensive, heading up the Kemmel Straight. Meraki, though, not moving from his position as Tom now moves ahead again from Infratic, now into the top 10, as now we watch these two race leaders, P1 and P2, Rutanius and Meraki, dueling it out for the lead of the race here at this point. Rutanius currently holding on to an advantage of over 4/10 of a second as now they peel downwards in towards the latter sector. They've still got to lurch their way through Blanchimont, but still the Scuderia Ferrari holding on to somewhat of a decent advantage, seem to be a little bit quicker heading through that final sector. That gap now out to nearly a second as now they peel off in towards the bus stop chicane. Now at this point, Rutanius still looking calm and composed at this point. Meraki not far behind either. All he needs is a big launch, but Just Van Ale bringing himself into DRS territory now with Meraki in second. So it's now becoming a 4-car scrap for this Creator Series Belgian Grand Prix. As they head out of La Source once again, they've got Eau Rouge and Radion. Meraki needs a better exit this time to make a charge on the Ferrari for the race lead. As they peel up through now this one section, Eau Rouge and Radion, so legendary here at this circuit. Kemmel up next. Again, Rutanius peels over to the right-hand side of the track with now Meraki trying to gain, trying to break the toe there, the Ferrari. Very clever moves from Rutanius. He knows exactly what he's doing, but it does compromise him heading through Les Combes whenever he enters that first corner.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's a very tricky situation because right now, what Rutanius does by moving over like this is every single time he compromises, but he slows himself down. By slowing himself down, he allows Just Van Ale and Safso to close in ever so tiny. The gap decreases another 10th last lap that Just Van Ale gained on Rutanius. The gap last lap was about 1.8 seconds. It's still 1.8 seconds. By the time they get to the line, it might actually be down to 1.7, although it seems like it's going up again. Tiny bits. It's staying where it is, but the hard tire over time will gain more and more in terms of delta on the medium tire, so we should see the gap decrease more and more and faster over time. Once Just Van Ale has the DRS of Meraki, I'm going to say that right now, it's probably over for these guys. I think Rutanius is going to have to pit lap 34, and really only a safety car can save him at this point at the right time. He doesn't need the safety car now. He needs it around lap 32 or later. That's when it would be perfect for him. Otherwise, his strategy might be a bit ruined.
Well, riding on board now with Meraki as he heads out of Eau Rouge and Radion. The gap now between him and Rutanius very nearly stretching out to his second. And it can't remain this way for too long because Rutanius, if he can break the DRS, of course, both of them on similar tyre strats. Of course, Rutanius pitting earlier than what Meraki did on that set of medium tyres. Obviously, both of them are going to have to box eventually, as will some others as well. A safety car would certainly help many of the drivers further down as well. What about Tiamat Marduk coming into the fight? Because he's currently gaining on Rasun Chai. Larsen's out! That could be the safety car. The stewards now. Safety car. I called it. I called it.
It's too early.
I called it.
Oh no.
I called it.
Yeah.
Seeds
you
here.
did.
Seeds here at this point, and the cars now.
Oh no.
Oh, what a moment here
That
in the
is-
Creator Series race.
Yeah, that is too early for Rutanius. He definitely needs to pit, but the softs are unlikely to make it long enough. You have to risk it though. At this point, this is this is gonna be interesting now. Who is gonna pit? Will everyone pit? Will only those pit who either have to pit or who are still on hard tires? What's gonna happen? I don't know. If I was Rutanius, I'd pit now because you have to.
Well, he's got
But
no
if
choice.
I'm Meraki,
There's no choice. They've got to box.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
for Rutanius, you have to. But again, the soft tires are going to be very marginal.
And they'll be cooked. They'll be cooked towards the end of this race. I mean,
Exactly.
we know the
So
mediums tend to last
Meraki
around
is
15.
going in. They're all going in.
Well, there you have it.
Oh, they're risking it all.
Meraki's in too. They're all coming in. The question is, who's going to break
Robotics
this?
staying out.
Well, there you have it. Now, could this be the twist in the tail that one Ben Daly might pull something out of the bag? I would not write him off. And at this point, folks, at home, this could be one of the most crucial points in this Belgian Grand Prix. We remember Silverstone. It was a last-moment hiccup that led to a Tiamat Marduk win. Could the strategy offer a twist in the tail that could lead to yet another win for Tiamat Marduk?
It might very well happen. A couple other drivers have decided to stay out as well. That would be Tom, and that would be no, Infratic is in. Never mind. I was not looking closely. I think Maxime MXM also stayed out. Both on the same sort of age of medium tire as Tiamat Marduk, 12-lap-old medium. So I think for them, for both the Alpine drivers, they are just trying to pick up the pieces, pick up the scraps that the other drivers might leave on their old, dead hard tires by the end of the race, potentially punctured hard tires by the end of the race. Hayden Gullis actually went on to, actually didn't pit either. He is on 4-lap old mediums. Remember, he pitted under safety car, but then had to pit again after he lost his front wing 4 laps ago. So he's on much fresher medium tires. And actually a bit of a dark horse, because we're all bunched up under the safety car anyway. I wouldn't count Hayden Gullis out of as crazy as that sounds. He's got 3 seconds of time penalties, but with fresher medium tires on everyone else. Actually, no, I just noticed most other drivers went on mediums. Rutanius went to softs, everyone else went mediums.
Well, that's a bold call by Rutanius. That leaves
clever.
That effectively though leaves him exposed though towards the end of the race, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he will be flying right now. He needs to get... Oh, this is going to be interesting. So for Tiamat Marduk, the game plan right now is stay ahead, keep Rutanius behind, battle like a defend like a lion, channel your inner Alonso. For Rutanius, it's the exact opposite. It's get past as quickly as you can, pull a gap, get in front, and hope that the tires just last. And for all the other medium runners, Meraki down to Liam, who are all on fresh mediums, it really is just, yeah, wait and see. Honestly, there's no... the further up ahead in this group you are, there's just no urgency. So Meraki can literally just sit behind and wait and see what happens. If he can make up a position on Tiamat Marduk, he should do that, obviously. You know, you don't want to slow down, but... You know, try to stay with Rutanius as much as you can, but it's just sit down, wait, or sit behind, wait and see.
Yeah, well, Dirk has had to come in because Dirk's been given the wrong tyres. He's had to change again. He's on to hard. So, again, more issues for Dirk Chocolate. And now he's right to the back of the field again. Only this time, he might get
risk softs for Dirk.
Well, he's gone hard. Oh, he's gone...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, he's gone hard, yeah.
He's gone hard tyres.
I don't understand that.
That's a very strange move towards the end of this race.
Yeah.
That definitely leaves him exposed in terms of pace. Very tricky business if you're Dirk Chocolate at this point. He's going to be very disappointed, I think, wondering what could have been But I tell you one man who's got a huge chance of causing an upset here is Tiamat Marduk. I hate to say it, I really do think he might have a chance here.
He may have, yeah. Those 13-lap-old mediums now, they haven't seen the worst in their lifespan so far. They are sitting at a solid... I have the telemetry, but I'm still going to round it quite generously. Just so no one has any idea of the other creators. No one... Because we know we have people watching and everybody tells everyone in the other chats what's going on. Around 30%. That could mean 25, it could mean 35. I'll keep it a little bit of a secret, but you know, it's in a really good position. Right. These tires are not worn to the max, and they will be able to see out the remaining 13 laps or the remaining 12 laps just fine. Dirk is deliberately staying behind now, going slowly, because he wants the safety car to go one lap longer. I think he wants to come back in and switch onto softs. That's why he's not closing in. Or is he closing in now? He's going faster now. Maybe he was just sorting out some technical issues. I don't know.
Well, let's put
but we haven't gotten the message yet.
No, we haven't. Not yet. Usually we would have it at this point.
We could still get it now. He has caught up.
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
We are not getting... Okay, we are getting one more lap behind the safe... No! Oh, my. Dirk, this is why you don't leave it late. If you're watching this back, this is why you don't leave it so late, because, my goodness, Tiamat Marduk has no chance to now prepare the restart. That is just harsh.
Well, let's just put cards on the table now, folks. Let us know who's going to win the Belgian Grand Prix. Post your comments in the live chat, please. I tell you what now, as we ran the final corner, Tiamat Marduk, it's all on him as we're about to go green, and it's pedal to the metal for the third time in this Belgian Grand Prix. Down through towards the source they go. Tiamat Marduk in front, Rutanius in second, nursing along those new soft tyres that are going to surely take him to the front, heading up this long straight at Kemmel. They've got Rouge and Radion to take. Meraki in third too, holding back the force of Justin Ali. Safso in fifth. I Contrast having the race of his life on debut in P6 as they head up now towards this next straight. They've still got Laycom up next. Tiamat Marduk still with the advantage. Rutanius unable to get past him at the restart.
Yeah, I tell you what, the gap between those tyres, the delta between those tyres, the fresh softs of Rutanius and the older mediums of Tiamat Marduk, it's going to be over a second a lap. And Rutanius should find it quite easy to get past at some point here this lap. If he doesn't, that bodes very well for Tiamat Marduk to hold on to this
there's
lead.
A spin. Dirk's round. Dirk's round. I think Dirk Chocolate's round. He is. It's gone from bad to worse for Dirk Chocolate. He is spun at Bruxelles and ahead of Maxime there, of course, who is in 13th place. There was a tie-up around Bruxelles. Dirk Chocolate spinning as a result of those new hard tyres.
Yeah, certainly. He should have gone on to soft. I think it would have been better. You have to risk it at that point, especially if you're in P14. Trying to go on to hards, I'm not sure that's the right call.
Here comes Rutanius.
Yeah.
Making his way through this next left at Bruxelles. Big chance for him now to take the lead of the race at this point on the soft tyres. He's got to make the move. Tiamat Marduk, though, is going to make it very hard for him. Heading through bus stop. And in comes now Meraki around the outside. Big chance. Meraki side by side now with Rutanius. Surely he'll have a chance here. Heading down towards that La Source corner. They go side by side again. The medium tyres. In comes Justin Ali. Through goes Justin Ali. Does he make it through? Not quite yet. Still no. Meraki side by side up through towards Rouge and Radion. Again they go together. The soft tyres not working for Rutanius. He can't break clear. They're going to go three wide now up this next straight. Here up Kemmel. Tiamat Marduk with the advantage. But Meraki now moves his way through. Side by side through Laycom. You can't separate them. Nose to tail. Wheel to wheel. Meraki is in second. Justin Ali. Through he goes. He's now in third.
Oh, that is incredibly painful. Now, he gets pushed off now by Safso as well. Rutanius getting pushed out the way. My goodness. That is incredibly unlucky for Rutanius. He just does not seem to have the pace on the soft tires. It was the only choice he could make, but it's not the choice that he would want, I think. He does not have the pace here on those soft tires compared to all the fresh mediums. Meanwhile, Tiamat Marduk holding on like a lion for that lead with a 12-lap tire disadvantage on Meraki, on Ale, on Safso. That is severely impressive right there from the Aussie who now lives in the UK.
Well, Meraki, you can just see in the bottom right-hand corner, as I alluded to before, I spent the day at the Williams factory with him the other day. We were there to release the brand new F1 Esports Lounge at Williams on their new premises to the public. Myself and Meraki were actually racing against the public that night as well. And I said to him, if he continues the form that he showed there, he won all 3 races, including a last to first. I said to him, if you act the way you did there, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with when we go racing here at Belgium this week. And once again, he is on display. A wonderful effort at this point as now they work their way through Eau Rouge and Radion. Kemal Straight coming up next. Meraki looking to try and undo all the hard work that Tiamat Marduk has pulled off. You see the McLaren going defensive to the right-hand side. Now in comes Meraki, side by side. Lecom this time. The 2 British constructors going toe-to-toe as though they work through. Tiamat Marduk, Ministry of Defence. The Aussie still leads here at Belgium as now they head through Bruxelles. Deep dive from Juswan Ali. He is not leaving anything to chance. He's pushing for all he's worth. Juswan Ali doesn't consider himself done in this fight.
Yeah, certainly not. He might have a 3-second time penalty, but right now he does not care about that. He thinks he can drive out or get in front and drive out a 3-second gap potentially. He's had the pace throughout this race so far, so I don't find that a frivolous thought for him to say, oh, now he's 6 seconds on penalties. That is just unlucky at that point, but still, he might even be able to drive that out with the pace that he's had so far this race, especially if Tiamat Marduk on those old tires would be in P2, holding back Meraki and Safso and Rutanius. Then it would be very easy for him to drive out 6 seconds, but it's gonna come down. This is 10 laps, not even 10 laps remaining, sorry, 9 laps remaining at the end of this one. And Juswan Ali goes up the inside, gets shoved off the track by Meraki, and Meraki keeps P2 right now.
Yeah, very close contact. There's also a battle with Zafso and Rutanius in behind as well. Many cars getting into the fight here as they exit La Source. Now making their way down this next straight. Look at this. Incredible scenes. In comes now Zafso. Biblical here at Spa-Francorchamps. Heading up through Eau Rouge and Radion. There you can see them all together. Juswan Ali in third. In behind as well Zafso. Rutanius on the soft tyres. Knows that he needs to get them working. Tiamat Marduk, who has been given every chance of a little breathing space with Meraki still in second. Rutanius is now up into fourth. He's broached past now, through past Safso, ahead of the Mercedes, and now is closing down on Juswan Ali as they head into Bruxelles corner.
This is going to be a frantic finale to this race. These 8.5 laps here do not go away right now, or you will miss what could very well be one of the most dramatic finishes we have had so far in the Creator Series, and we probably will ever have, if we're quite honest.
Well, no better finish here at Spa when you've got this amount of cars into the fight. Tiamat Marduk still leads the way. 3/10 advantage ahead of Meraki. That can very easily be whittled down for as long as this race continues. Remember, Meraki's got the fresher medium tyres, no penalty to his name, so no concern should it remain like this with Juswan Ali on 6 and Rutanius on 3 seconds, Zafso on 3 seconds as well. I contrast on for a debut podium here in his first race here at this Creator Series event at Spa. We got a battle further up now. Once again, Juswan Ali trying to make a move on Meraki. He might get 2 here, but he'll get 1 at least. Moves ahead now into second place. Here comes Rutanius as well. I tell you what, the bus stop chicane offering so much. Rutanius goes for the double. Outside line into La Source. Can he carry the move out? Side by side tap. He's off. He's off the track and now has to rejoin. And we'll have Meraki alongside him as well. Pandemonium here at Spa.
I still have another 8 laps of this. At the end of this, I think we will all have to take a long shower because this is a sweat fest right now and I love it.
This is brilliant racing. Meraki, who has given everything, has now lost out on P2 to Juswan Ali after that visit coming out of the bus stop chicane into that La Source section. Once again, they're nose to tail. You cannot separate them. The gaps are thinner than a fly's eyelash here at Spa. As then they venture out of Bruxelles into the next left now at Jackie X. It's still Tiamat Marduk in front. Justwan Ali in second, Meraki in third. A penalty for Justwan Ali with 6 seconds is certainly going to be enough for Meraki to jump him in this classification. Not only that, offering High Contrast a chance to move up into the podium places. And now once again, Justwan Ali looking for every which way possible to usurp that of Tiamat Marduk, who leads this race and has driven epically, superbly, brilliantly at this point. The question is, Badgerman, can he hold on?
Yeah, that is the question, and I don't think he can. In fact, bad exit there out of Stavelo and Kurt Porfrey. Just when Ali goes past immediately, but that might be the wrong timing. I think Tiamat Marduk might actually be able to get him back, because now DRS down the pit straight, and then DRS down. Apologies, down the camel straight as well.
Rutanius,
yeah.
Very late on the brakes, heading into the bus stop chicane. Tiamat Marduk, who's now up into second, chasing after Justwan Ali. Meraki also in behind him as well. They're all together still as then they come out to the first corner here on lap 38 to 44. There goes Justwan Ali in front. Tiamat Marduk in behind too. The question is, can the Aussie prevent the moves here from Meraki to take that second place away from him? Zafso in fourth as well. On contrast, now promoted to fifth after that issue that Rutanius had heading through bus stop. Still, they're all pretty much equilateral. The top 10 all very closely matched together. Rutanius now down 2.1 seconds away from Rasin Chai. That is surely his race over.
Yeah, most likely he will not be able to recover from that. I'd be very surprised if he did. The soft tires have seen their best days at this point. Mediums are still good to go. And Tiamat Marduk trying to hold on to the 1 second gap there to Justwan Ali. 6.5 tenths now, 7 tenths almost going through Puhan. 12 lap tire disadvantage for Tiamat Marduk there. And Justwan Ali tries to pull that gap big enough. It might work, but then again, Tiamat Marduk doesn't necessarily need that right now. As long as he stays within 6 seconds of Justwan Ali, he'll be fine. And keep in mind, Tiamat Marduk does not have a single warning so far this race. The only driver who is still in the race to not have acquired a single warning. Yellow flag, Rutanius out, DNF.
Rutanius is out to the race, and that is a safety car.
Safety
car. Oh my goodness me.
And who's going to pit?
Incredible.
Who's going to pit for softs?
That is the question. Now, what's Justwan Ali going to do? Is he going to come in? Surely he has to.
He comes in. Tiamat Marduk as well.
Tiamat Marduk, great opportunity. Out. Incredible
High
here.
Contrast.
Well.
Oh, wow.
Answers on a postcard.
Half.
Incredible.
No. 8 drivers in. 7 drivers in. We're waiting for Dirk. 4 drivers staying out. Dirk has to come in, surely. Yeah,
you would have thought
tires.
so. I mean, here come the tyres now.
That far down.
It's got to be softs. I mean, it has to be softs at the end of this race. I can see Tiamat Marduk on softs. He now has a huge chance of taking his first, of being the first driver to claim 2 race wins in a single season of the Creator Series. I can tell you this now. High Contrast has stayed out. Meraki is now in lead of this race. Liam is in third. Rasin Chai in fourth. So I tell you what, folks. Grandstand finished, folks. How about this? This is what the Creator Series is all about. Who's going to win this one? Live chat, I want to hear from you now. Who is taking the win here in the Belgian Grand Prix? We only have a matter of small laps remaining, a small amount of laps. I mean, Badgerman, I'm going to throw it over to you. You're the brains of this. Tell us, who's got this one?
Such a good question. I mean, to see High Contrast there in P2, he started 17th. I just want to repeat that real quick. He started 17th, and he's in P2 right now. That is unbelievable, no matter where he finishes. Meraki from pole position, in the lead now, and Tiamat Marduk in P6. I think those 3 are the ones we have to look at. They are 3 of the 4 drivers remaining, 5 drivers remaining. Let's not forget Dirk. Of the 5 drivers remaining with no penalties. And I think High Contrast might actually be on 2 warnings. Let me check to make sure. So Meraki is on 1 warning, but that might be a warning for contact. I don't know necessarily. I can only see how many warnings they have, not for what. So I think Meraki might actually have that warning for potential contact instead of a track limit infringement. I'm going to look through. No, it is track limits. Okay. Contrast is on 3, but he doesn't have a penalty, so he clearly had at least 1 for contact. That's for sure. So I would assume 2 normal ones. Liam's on 2 warnings. Razin's got a penalty, 3 seconds. Just Ali, 6 seconds. Tiamat Marduk, not a single warning, which I still find incredibly impressive. Safzo 3, Infratic 15. So he's out of this one. Tom on 9, he's out of this one. Hayden Gullis on 3, Carbon Shadow on 6, Dirk Chocolate on 1 warning, Maxime on 3 seconds. That is the situation right now. And just to check, Dirk's warning was actually on lap 15. That implies that it's more likely to be a track limit warning, which, yes, it was. So Dirk on 1 warning.
Well, here we go, folks, and I can already see lots of people getting in touch. Hoodie Pete saying Meraki as well. Lot Lover saying Team Tiamat Marduk. Ben should have stayed out, says Harry69. I'm not sure when the lap should have happened, because remember, certainly Tiamat Marduk, or Ben Daly, as we all know him as well, had obviously already done 13 laps on those mediums by the time everyone had changed onto the mediums anyway, even before the safety cars. So it couldn't have come at a better time, really, for him. He's on the softs now, so a great chance for him to certainly correct the situation. Remember, he hasn't got any penalties. He is in prime position to win this race. But the big question is, can Meraki hold on? And not only that, Contrast, second place on the medium tyres, Badgerman, and he's in proximity. Medium tyres, Liam, we've got to add into the mix on this. The top 3, they have the track position, but you do have to wonder, 5 laps to go. Is it enough for the softs to, you know, reaffirm their position, try and attack those mediums? So do you think they've got enough time, Badgerman, to get that top spot?
It depends on how quickly they can get past Razin and Liam. The faster you can put overtakes on, the easier it's going to be. A lot will depend on this restart. It's only going to be 4 laps. The restart will happen this lap. I'm going to guarantee that right now. We're going to get the message. Let me quickly see. We're going to get the message
it's got to be this lap.
3, 2, 1. There it is. Oh, that's perfect. Very proud of myself there. So it really depends on this reset now. If just when Ali and Tiamat Marduk can get past Razin and Liam very quickly and put on some overtakes really quickly, the delta between the tires, between the new softs and the old mediums, should be right now around 9/10, maybe a second. So it is quite a big delta between the tires. Whether that's enough to make the overtakes happen depends on the drivers and depends on how strongly Razin in particular, who is the rear gunner of this top 4 group, defends.
Okay, well, they're making their way down towards the bus stop chicane now. Don't forget, hashtag Creator Series on Twitter to have your say, folks. Also, if you're a Blue Sky Blue customer, sorry, wrong channel. Obviously, if you are a member here at the Twitch, certainly the Twitch channel here for Creator Series, make sure you leave a follow as well, as now the cars get set to go racing again. Meraki now making his way up towards the line. Now, for the 5th time, we put pedal to the metal for the 4th time in this Grand Prix. In towards the next chicane now. Well, certainly the next hairpin bend out of La Source, and Justin Ali already going for moves at this very early stage. He has managed to get himself clear of Rasin Chai, but he won't be the only one, as now all of them look to try and reaffirm their positions in the top 10. Tiamat Marduk further back, but have a look at this. What about Justin Ali on Liam for P3 here on track? It won't be enough though. Remember, he does have a penalty, as now they work their way up towards Lake On. Justin Ali heading in towards the right-hander at this chicane. Nose to tail, Justin Ali up into 3rd, as well as Gullis moves past Tom as we get the restart underway.
Yeah, I saw Tiamat Marduk. He had a horrendous restart and immediately got caught by Safsa, who now goes up the inside of Rasin and up to P5. The Mercedes of Safsa working through the field, as well as Justin Ali as well. And really, it comes down to how fast can Tiamat Marduk get to the leaders. Again, everyone else pretty much has penalties. Only Meraki, Contrast, and Liam, but Tiamat Marduk is the one we have to look out for because of the penalty situation. He's currently in net P4, but he needs to make overtakes happen. Is he going to go for it here on Razin? No, he's not. I think he had a good run there to maybe stick his nose up the inside, but maybe he's going to try it here into the bus stop chicane. Goes to the left, which should be the inside, sitting on the battery. Does he get the space by Razin? He barely does. And pushes him off the track, actually. Oh my. But he is passed for now. Oh, he's passed-ish. No, he's passed. There you go.
He's got
a bit premature.
He's got a nose
He's
in
up
front.
into P6. Safso past Liam. Just when Ali in P2, challenging Meraki for the lead here.
He is indeed, and just look at them, all nose to tail, nothing separates them. Once again, just when Ali looking for the lead now here. Meraki knows exactly what's coming on the soft tyres. Just when Ali got a wonderful restart as now they make their way through Eau Rouge and Radion. And now the Haas now prominent in behind that Williams rear wing. He'll move alongside surely on Meraki, side by side still as they rise up towards Lake Com now. Still they go wheel to wheel now through this next right as we run on board. Just when Ali now leads here at Spa. Gets a little untidy headed through Malmedy, but leads the way nonetheless. And now, a huge chance now. If he can break clear, needs to break clear by 6 seconds with 2 laps to go. It's a big ask, but it could be possible.
It's a very big ask indeed. I don't see it happening. The gap, the tire gap is not enough between the softs and the mediums. I think just what Ali is going to struggle to pull that much of a gap, but he might actually be able to pull enough of a gap, 6 seconds to Tiamat Marduk and Liam potentially. So a good result might still be on the cards there for the Haas driver. Meanwhile, Meraki in prime position to win this as Tiamat Marduk and Safso both stuck a bit in traffic here. Safso can't get past Eye Contrast. Tiamat Marduk can't even get past Liam right now. So both really struggling to make the most of their soft tires. And remember, the delta of 1 second, as I estimated at the start, at the restart, that's going down with every single corner. It should right now be closer to 8, maybe even 7 tenths. And there's contact, Tiamat Marduk touching the rear of Liam right now, pushing him through the bus stop chicane. DRS now enabled, but it will be enabled for pretty much everyone from P4 downwards. Tiamat Marduk looking up the inside. Slight touch with Liam there, and he's passed. P5 and Safso now potentially under pressure from Tiamat Marduk as well. They're on the same tires, both on the soft. But if Tiamat Marduk can pull that move off, then Eye Contrast should be nothing but a sitting duck. And Tiamat Marduk might move his way into at least a net P2. As here goes Safso up the inside of Eye Contrast. Into P3 he goes. And that should make it a bit easier for Tiamat Marduk now to get past Eye Contrast as well. Meraki still holding on nicely there to that P2. Oh, Tiamat Marduk goes a bit wide. Opens the door for Liam, who's up the inside, but won't be able to stick his nose there for much longer. And now Tiamat Marduk stays in P5. Eye Contrast still holding on for P4, but he's falling off of Safso so much. Look at that gap just increasing immediately. Meraki not safe here from Safso as well, potentially.
Yeah, no, and I tell you what, just Ali's still working hard to bring that deficit out as far as possible. Obviously a win on the table, potentially for Just Ali, as very soon we will start the final lap of this Belgian Grand Prix. The gap now 3.2 seconds. He's managed to get half of it. Yellow flags. And it looks like Infratic has spun. Infratic has had an issue, but he's back underway. Maxime goes ahead of him as well. But the gap now is out to 4 seconds. Tiamat Marduk now with a chance to move up to fourth lead of Eye Contrast. Up towards the bus stop chicane they go. Side by side. Oh, nose to tail. They bash wheels as they make their way through. Oh, he spun him. Oh, no. Goodness me. Eye Contrast. Oh, there's been a big crash. Huge crash.
Dirk hit him.
Dirk's hit him. Unbelievable scenes here. Incredible. And we're on the final lap of the race. Just when Ali, 3.2 seconds clear of Meraki, but he needs to make it 6 if he wants to take this Grand Prix.
Yeah, he's still in net podium position, though. He is 7 seconds clear of P4, so he's guaranteed if he just stays there to have a podium spot. Meraki right now would win this race as Liam gets overtaken by Eye Contrast. Razin in P6, Hayden Gullis P7, Tom P8, and Tiamat Marduk has fallen back all the way to P9. What a heartbreaking end to his charge there. Just one Ali, gap now 3.7. Safso's on Meraki. Not sure he'll be able to get the position because he would need an extra 3 seconds on Meraki to actually keep that P2. But P3 is still possible. Gap to eye contrast 2.7. So very, very close. But Juswan Ali, I don't think he'll be able to make that unless Meraki and Safso somehow end up coming together, similarly to what we saw with Kemet Marduk there. And I think eye contrast was involved as well. So if we see something like that in the bus stop chicane, Juswan Ali might actually be able to walk away with this. He will cross the line in P1. Here comes Safso on Meraki though.
Well, I tell you what, I'm looking at this on my screen, and he has broken 6 seconds. On my screen is Juswan Ali, but it's
wrong.
flickering as then they make their way down towards bus stop. Juswan Ali will cross the line. Meraki, who is still there, making his way out of the bus stop chicane. The gap now is shrunk. Meraki, surely to take the win. He's won it, and the record of every single race winner being a different race winner continues in the Creator Series. Meraki is the winner of the Belgian Grand Prix.
What a race from Meraki. Held on for dear life there at the end on those medium tires, not pitting, taking track position, and it paid off just about 1.3 seconds in the end, the gap between Meraki and Juswan Ali on penalties there. Unbelievable. Take a bow, Meraki Jaya, and Juswan Ali, I think, well-deserved driver of the day. Last to second, and really last to first across the line for Juswan Ali. Impressive stuff.
Incredible, to say the least. Amazing moments indeed. Credit to Juswan Ali. It was a great drive to bring himself up to where he did. But Meraki is your race winner and has done it in great style as well. I alluded to his form at the Williams factory. He's come back and proven us right yet again with a great victory, a wonderful performance. And certainly I don't think this will be the last one either. He has extraordinary pace. Without a doubt, he'll have a huge chance at becoming the first driver in this series to take 2 wins in a single season. Of course, we've got more races to come here in the Creator Series Championship, but he did it in style, and no doubt he'll be looking to come back again and taking that crown once again, I'm sure.
Yes, certainly. He obviously did not have the fastest lap because that was determined by those soft runners at the end there. And Juswan Ali obviously had that pace, so fastest lap goes to him with a P2 to boot as well. But my goodness, Meraki, what a race. I mean, just impressive. And it was not a lights to flag victory by any stretch, but that does not tell the whole story. That grid 1, position 1, that does not tell the story. My goodness, Meraki, that was impressive. To not pit there with 6 laps remaining under safety car, sticking it out, and yeah, incredible. And yeah, we have to address, I think, the title of the stream, because Tom, not only did he actually finish a race finally, no, he also got a point.
He got a point. Congratulations, Tom. He's going to be thrilled with that. In fact, I'm looking forward to see. Hopefully, we'll get some comments. Hopefully, we'll get some interviews as well today. But Tom getting his points, and as I believe it, as I understand it, I believe Dirk finished as well.
Dirk finished. Not just that, he also finished in the points, P9.
Goodness me! I tell you what, there's a first time for everything, even at the Creator Series. Who impressed you though, Badgerman? Who was your eye catcher here tonight?
It's a tricky choice. I mean, Juswan Ali is the obvious one, I would say, because last to second, last to first across the line, that's not an easy feat. However, I would also throw in the mix a certain eye contrast, who stayed penalty-free, finished in P3, didn't even participate really in qualifying. He had 1 outlap in qualifying and no time set in Q1. Started 17th. There were a couple of disqualifications and other shenanigans going on, so he started P17. But to finish on the podium after starting in 17th and on your debut, nonetheless, absolutely remarkable job from Eye Contrast as well. So I would split it between those two, Juswan Ali and Eye Contrast.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to bring someone into the live chat now, and someone I think who has a lot to say about their performance here today. It is going to be Jorrit Jan van Geffen, Routanius, for those of you who know him as well. Routanius, an interesting race for you. A lot of question marks around the decision to go soft tyres when you did. Not only that, what happened at bus stop?
Well, let me just look back at the beginning of the race. I think that all went pretty good. The first stint was perfect. Second stint was great, and I must say Jake was so quick. I almost kept him, but he came back on the straight, and that kept him close to me and pressured me all race. So GG's to Jake for that, because he was mad quick on that second stint, really mad quick. And then the third safety car came out, and then it was either stay out, go soft, or go hards, because I can't go mediums. I've done medium already, so it's either softs or hards. And that would have been softs, but yeah, unfortunately, it felt pretty good at the start. And then at some point it didn't feel as good, or maybe the nerves got to me, I guess. But yeah, we had some sick battles. Dropped back a little bit, and then we had some incredible battles. I almost did a double move in the last corner. Unfortunately, I got squished off in the first corner. But that happens. At least I'm gonna have a banger video, and I must say, I kind of jinxed myself. I said, well, we might get lucky, and exactly at that moment, I lost the rears and sent it into the wall.
Well, it was certainly a special race on your part. Just to say, before we go any further, I just want to say a big shout out to the raids that have been given by Tom and Hayden Gullis as well, Zafso as well. Thank you guys for the raids, really much appreciated. Shout outs to all those guys. But honestly, it was an action-packed race though, Routanius. In terms of what happened tonight, would you say Creator Series was the winner tonight?
Absolutely, I think it was sick. I think we went through Eau Rouge Radion together.
We did.
Yeah. Almost pulled off a double overtake. I saw some incredible racing, some last lap drama with Ben and I contrast. Tom doing a beast performance without a setup. He had no setup.
Incredible.
Hayden without
wow.
a rear wing, still hanging on, and Ale and Jake. Just there was so much good stories on the grid, and from my point of view, when you've been running the whole race, the only thing you can do, running first the whole race, the only thing you can do is bin it.
Yeah, no.
That happened.
Absolutely. I mean, no, seriously, I think you deserve a lot of credit. I mean, obviously we got Zandvoort up next. What are your feelings on that?
Well, it is the home GP, but as every race, I'm not gonna be optimistic. I'm just gonna try my best again. I prepared for this one. I prepared for the last one. It didn't go as planned. I guess I need to prepare better or more, or just get a bit more comfortable with the car, because I always end up making some kind of mistake, and it is on me. It's not out of my reach or something. It is literally just me doing that. So that means I have something to work on, and it also means I just have to do something better than I'm doing right now. So I'm just gonna work on that and see how it goes for the rest of the season. Zandvoort, I don't know what kind of track it is for me. I haven't really driven it much, so it might be good, might be bad. I am good at street circuits and tight circuits and stuff, so maybe Zandvoort as well. Who knows?
It's a possibility. But a big shout out as well to Team Marduk and Dirk Chocolate with their raids as well. Big thank you to all the fans that have come and joined us. Routanius, big thank you to you for offering us yet again more energy and definitely a lot more excitement as well. So great effort on what you did. Hopefully you'll bounce back at Zandvoort.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much too.
Thank you, Routanius. Thank you. I think we're going to bring in the next ones as well, Badgerman, because these two ought to be brought in together. First of all, we have the race winner as well. We've obviously got Meraki, but also we got Just One Ali as well, who has come in to join us. So I'm going to bring them in and chat to them together, because I think that last lap was definitely special. First of all, Just One Ali, commiserations. Commiserations, my friend. You gave it everything. Those 6 seconds just sort of lingered over your head, really, didn't they? There was just no way.
Yeah, they did.
That was pretty much the precursor to the final moments of that race. But just talk about that your process, your methods of driving. You were so fast from the very beginning. The safety car restarts, you had the jump on pretty much everybody. So you must take a little bit of confidence from that to a degree.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, I'm not gonna lie to you, and I've learned a lot from doing SRC with Luke Smith. I was watching Fabio's SRC training with who was it again? Futa? I forgot who it was.
It's
Yeah,
Jonah
Martins.
Buttons.
With who?
Yona.
Yeah, Yona.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yona
that's who it was.
Martins. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Oh.
learned a little bit from him there, how to do T1 properly and stuff like that. But yeah, so just learning here and there, but applied it today and just wasn't enough with the penalties. But it was good. It was a good race.
It certainly seemed like it was good. I mean, there were a lot of amazing moments that we witnessed through
Oh,
that
yeah.
one, and you provided many of them. I mean, overtake after overtake, coming up through Radion and then through Lecom. It was just dynamite from the word go. I mean, obviously, had you had probably a little bit longer, you might have been able to bridge that gap out to 6 seconds. It looked like you had the
100%.
pace on the final couple of laps. Had it been any longer, that race could have
One
been in
lap.
your pocket. Yeah, one more lap I think
One
would
lap.
have been
That's
enough.
all I needed.
Yeah.
Me and Jake were talking about it. One lap.
Fine
That's all I
margins.
needed.
Fine margins.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Do you know what I was hoping for actually? You and Safso to fight at the end. Was it Saf?
Yeah,
or-
that's.
Yeah.
I may
Kind
have
of what
been like,
happened.
Don't do it. I may have like shouted at him, but it's
yeah.
no, it was great.
Nah, it went well. I enjoyed it. It
Yeah,
was fun.
well, looking ahead to Zandvoort now. Obviously, I just asked Retainius that question too. I mean, what are your thoughts as we head to the Dutch Grand Prix circuit of Zandvoort?
Tricky. Don't get disqualified in quali again.
Okay, good start. Yeah.
you know that wasn't actually me. That was my ghost that did it by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, we did hear about that. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Not ideal. Not ideal way of qualifying.
No,
but,
no ideal. Especially around Zandvoort, that would be absolutely awful.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, just keep on track, keep it clean, and head down, pretty much.
Wise words and sentiments there from Just One Ali.
Nice.
Congratulations on your effort, man. Honestly.
Thank you.
And we're going to move over to our race winner now as well, Meraki, who's joining us.
Hello.
And we spent some time together at Williams this week.
We
And
did.
I seem to remember saying to you when we were sat in the rigs together, if you pull out a performance like you did today, you will have a great chance when we head to Spa this weekend. Hey, you proved me right. What can I say?
Oh, man, yeah, I'm honestly, I'm happy you recognised me this time. I'm happy you remembered who my name
Okay.
was.
Whoa.
Let me tell you guys a little story, okay?
Yeah.
I was
tell
sitting around the
story.
table.
Yeah.
I heard good old George Morgan talking about the Creator Series, saying he commentates over drivers like Tom, Hayden Gullis, Dirk Chocolate. He didn't say my name. I thought I'd let it slide, right? I'd let it slide. So I went over to him after that, and I was like, "Oh yeah, how you doing, mate?" And he had no idea who I was. Speaking to him for about 5 minutes. No clue.
Wow.
And then I said about the Creator Series thing. Oh, why didn't you say my name? He was like, "Wait, who are you?"
What?
That's when it clicked. That's when it clicked, and he knew who I was.
Yeah. All of a sudden,
Oh.
that was Meraki.
Oh.
I learned the hard way, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's honestly that race is good. Though. That race is really, really good. I'm happy I could
Yeah. No,
bring what I showed at the lounge into this. It was a few like hairy moments side by side for a Rouge with Mr. Ruta.
well,
But aside from that, it was quite a fun race. I really enjoyed myself.
yeah. Well, I think your race was executed perfectly. I think obviously
Yeah.
I think the key moment was towards the end when we had that final safety car. You opted to stay out for the track position as opposed to come in to make the tyre change. Was that obviously a premeditated move? Did you have
No.
any thought in your mind to go onto the softs?
I had to like make that decision right at the end because I was coming into the bus stop chicane as that safety car came out. I think I was coming down that back straight, so I had to make it there and then. And luckily I made the right choice because I think if I came onto the softs, I might have struggled getting past and everything. But yeah, it was good. I had a really good time. Right decision.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, well, it proved to be the right decision in the end.
Yeah,
obviously, the track
thankfully.
position was key. But naturally now, you might be in with a great chance of now taking 2 wins out of 2. Not yet done before
Possibly.
in the Creator Series. And obviously, we're still waiting for that moment. Obviously, Tiamat Marduk looked to have a great chance today until he was unceremoniously upended as well. But we're heading to Zandvoort next. And what are your thoughts on that track? Because we raced. We didn't race on that, did we? In Williams.
No, we did. Was it Silverstone,
we
Austria?
did Silverstone, Austria, and I think we also
What
did
was the other one?
Brazil.
I can't remember. That's the one.
Yeah, we did
That's the
Brazil.
one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Zandvoort. It's all about qualifying, really, isn't it? 'Cause it's so hard to overtake, and it eats the battery as well. So if you make a mistake on that, you're going to be kind of like screwed for the whole race. So it's I don't know. It's not one of my favorite tracks. I'll put it out there now. But we'll see what I can do. See if I can do a little bit of practice.
Lots of hot lap preparation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll stop by the esports lounge again.
So get some tips, see if Caraton's there or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. No, honestly, no, brilliant job, Jake. Incredible result.
Thank
Obviously,
you.
putting your points on the board. First win of the season as well. Could be 2 when we head to Zandvoort. We'll soon find
Hopefully.
out. But yeah, no, cracking
Hopefully.
race. Cracking race.
Cheers, guys.
And well done.
Cheers, George.
Nice one, Meraki. Thank you.
Thank you.
What a superstar. Meraki, race winner for the first time in the Creator Series. And I think he has every right to be delighted with that, Badgerman. Obviously, a well executed performance, well executed race, pulled it all out the bag. And obviously, when the key decision was to be made, he made the right one. Obviously, not boxing onto the soft tyres, which he could have easily done, and left himself with a lot of work to do, instead opting for the track position, and hence why he is today's race winner.
Yeah, absolutely. However, I can tell you right now as well, I don't want to say he got lucky, but, a couple of drivers joined him, which saved him as well in a way, because the more cars you have behind you on the same tire as you, the bigger the buffer. The first car that was on soft tires was in P5. That helps, because now the soft runners have to work through 1, 2, 3 drivers to get to you. So they have to work through 4 drivers to get to the lead. And that certainly helped Meraki as well. Without those 3 drivers, without iContrast being there, without Liam being there, I forgot who the other one was, but without those drivers there, it's going to end very differently for Meraki. But he made the right call, considering that 3 other drivers were going to stay out as well. And I think there's going to be celebrations, and well deserved as well.
Yeah, 100%. And folks, if you all enjoyed that, please make sure you don't forget to land a follow to this channel as well. Make sure you stay signed in to the Creator Series. You'll then find out when we go live. Obviously, next Saturday will be our next race when we head to the Dutch Grand Prix circuit of Zandvoort. If you want to check us out on socials as well, it's F1 Creator Series on Twitch, Instagram and TikTok. We release all sorts on there, news, updates, not to mention clips, funny videos as well. And don't forget as well to make sure you clip your favourite moment for a chance for it to appear on those social networking channels. Also, don't forget to tweet, should I say, have your say, #Creator Series, and let us know what you think of the series. What was your favourite moment? Put it in the Twitter, and we will obviously pick out our favourite ones for the broadcast as well. But nevertheless, it's been a pleasure bringing you this show. My name, of course, being George Morgan, he being Badgerman. We'll see you next week when we go racing in Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix. Have a good evening. Take care. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.